we have also updated the community member characters list. It's a lot tidier and far more awesome looking now than it was before. I've put the actual character names there now, because before yesterday we just had, you know, you got the name of you guys, but now I thought yeah, let's go all out and put the names of the actual characters too, because that's what it's all about really. We want to get to know these characters better. So it's really cool seeing all their names, and I've bolded the names too, so you can easily just view every single character sheet this way. It'll send you straight to the image. There's other ways to see the character sheets as well, such as the website. If you are on desktop, you just hover over the character image and you can see it on the website too, but we don't have the new ones on the website yet because they're going to be updated on the next website update along with the new story so far video. So it'll be a bit while longer before those new ones are put on the website. And also my brain's done a blank. I was going to say something important and I forgot what it was now. Oh yes, and you can see them on the Twitter too, folks. So I've been uploading them all about two a day on the Twitter. So everyone's on there now apart from Neffel. So that is, we have here on our Trello, we've got Neffel still to do. And Neffel's is a special character, super unique. Need to do an original asset for Neffel's, and it's going to be well worth it because I love pigs. So that one, I'm thinking with Neffel's, doing it along with the next batch that gets submitted before the 8th of June, just so I can get that time in to perfect it. I've made a start on the asset, but I just want to make sure it's as good as it can be. And I'm not a character artist. I try my best. I did it with Carol the Barrel, but I'm not like skilled in character art or anything, so it'll probably take me longer than it would take the average person. And good morning, evening. Hi Agro, how are you doing today? Look at that beautiful Vivi badge next to your orange name. It looks nice. I'm doing good, Neffel. How are you doing? I love the cat emote, by the way, Alice. Is that one of your kitties in real life? Because it looks cool. It looks sweet. Right, so I've even added a few more bits and bobs to the Trello page too. We've got a miscellaneous category now because, well, you can see it right here. I'm thinking of doing profiles for the non-community member characters as well, which are people like Carol and her companions and the Fruits and Fiona and Nigel Bookington, who are some NPCs in the first village of the game. In fact, they're the NPCs that give you the first and second quest, so they're pretty important. And they currently don't have character sheets because they're not community characters. Those guys were created by us as a whole, as a community. So they're not anybody's actual character. So we can't forget about them. The game isn't just about community characters, it's about the characters we create together as well. And at the moment I'm calling them non-community member characters, but that feels like a bit of a very long sentence, so it'd be cool to think of a better name to sum them up. But non-community character just feels like the most of, like, we all know what that means because it just means they're not community member characters. So I put that as like a priority task for us above the other stuff, the other game development stuff to do, because they're important, you know. We still got to do them, and their character sheets we might not make them as detailed as what we've got for you guys here, but I'd still at least like to have some visual biography of them, you know, so we don't forget about them. And also, so, you know, people who come to the streams know who everybody is, who all the characters are in the game. It's Bear. This is Frog. Oh my god, is that their names? Bear and Frog? Because if so, that is absolute genius. My sister said she always wanted a dog and wanted to name her dog Bear. And I was like, yeah, you should, because this is perfect. Thanks. I enjoy the badges myself. Very nice choices. Has your week been so far? Yeah, I made those badges myself. I was very proud of them because I never thought they'd end up looking as good as they did because they're so tiny. And I didn't think I'd get the detail in on them. But they ended up working out really well. And I love them. And it feels very appropriate for this channel because, you know, I'm a bit of an RPG nerd. And I guess Final Fantasy is my franchise, the one I grew up on. So it makes sense to have Final Fantasy related badges. Chat stream characters. Yay, chat stream. Well, we could call it that too. I mean, it's hard to put a name to it. I guess as long as people understand what they are, it's the main thing. As long as it isn't misleading and people assume it's the characters that you guys can fill in the forms to make. And I think community member characters does sum up that nicely. I like Rose Originals. Thank you, Alice. Rose Originals for the non-community characters. They were shelter kittens, so Bear was already called Bear. We named Frog. We always wanted to call a cat Frog. I like it. I actually think there's something really adorable about calling animals like other animal names that when they're not that animal, it's just really cute. And yeah, Rose Originals could work, but at the same time, they're not all my originals, you know. There's chat to also help make them. We all kind of get together, and when it came to Carol the Barrel, it was somebody, specifically Silent and Lost, who used to come here a lot in the very, very early streams of Raindrop Chronicles. He was the one who actually thought of the idea of Carol the Barrel, and it just everything just went from there. Things just we ended up just making her into this awesome character together. Every time I check out the game, you are in Trello. I am, Debbie. I think I'm going to kind of make sure, well, it's going to be a thing. I'm going to always show this at the start of stream and talk about what we're going to do and what the plans are. And it keeps me organised too, to not forget about Trello. Seeing it there all the time just makes me stay on schedule and on target better. So I'm going to be really kind of fussy about making sure it's properly updated and that I'm always, like, you know, on Trello, I guess. Okay, so how you doing, Dave? It's good to see you. Froggy's witch is familiar and Bear is a druid. They're adorable. Are they your only two pets then, Alice? I don't have any pets at the moment, but one day me and Rex will have pets together when we finally live together. Right, guys, so as I was saying, we're going to start some non-community character sheets. So they're on the website. Let's just get the website up, actually, because we can remind ourselves who they are. So yeah, Carol, Meryl, Elvira, Hank, Woody and Oliver are Carol and her companions. We've already done Rose's sheet, and we don't have a character sheet for the custom hero because, well, that's you, and you can shape them however you want. So yeah, Carol and her companions are sort of classed as major NPCs, and Nigel and Fiona are minor NPCs because they just reside in Lakefall. But whereas the barrels are kind of very key to the game, or the containers, should I say, because they're not barrels. But if we hover over them, right now they don't have a character sheet, whereas if we hover over Rose and the others, we get to see their character sheets. So we definitely need to do them for these as well. Been neglected this whole time. And not just the characters, but locations as well. It was actually suggested by someone in the Discord yesterday that says it'd be pretty cool if we had, you know, bios for the others as well. And I thought, actually, yeah, it's pretty important because, you know, they're very key to the story and we need to put more attention onto them as well. And so I kind of wanted to do something a bit chill today rather than jump straight into the battle mechanics stuff. I'm kind of still doing some of that off stream and getting my head around some of the complex things we're going to be adding, so I need a bit more time, but this will be really cool to get done. And another thing I did want to get done, it was just a really random idea, but I did want to sort of consider where these guys live in the world, or the like, you know, when we might encounter them, and that is thinking a bit ahead, which I don't like to do too much when it comes to this project, but it could also be exciting for you guys as well to think, oh, my character might appear in episode 1 or might appear in episode 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 if they're an air game character. I mean, I don't even know if we're going to have 10 episodes in Raindrop Chronicles, but you know. We adopted them in December. They're still babies. Hadn't looks like a sad barrel. He is. He has a sad story. Well, funnily enough, that's him happy on this particular picture anyway, but we got another one that's even more sad of him, where he has a hole in him. He turns, something happens to him. There's a horrible accident and he ends up with a hole in him. Poor barrel. He's one of my faves for sure. Right guys, so what I'm going to do, first of all, one thing I did want to do as well was like all these tweets, because I haven't even done that myself yet. And I've got to log into my Rose Rainblood account to do that. And I think I already am logged in. So there's no password I need to enter, I don't think, so I can show you guys. Okay, so I can't believe I haven't liked them all. How dare I? There we go, so everyone's got some love from me now. Okie dokie. Right, so we can get Photoshop up now because we're going to get started. So who are we going to use as a template? Probably one that doesn't have a bio. We'll get binaries up as a template, I think. We're going to just hide his... Okay, so what I'm thinking of doing is doing a sheet like this for each of them, for Carol and all her companions, the fruits, and Fiona and Nigel. And the fruits aren't on the website yet, by the way, because they don't get introduced to the game until the next story so far video. Well, the companions don't either. There's a lot of characters that will get mentioned in the next video, but I still want to do them anyway because they'll need to be on the website for the next website update, because by then we'll have released the next story so far video and we'll have been introduced to them. And by the way, the fruits are the first boss of the game, so they're pretty important. Alright, so I want to kind of make it a bit different though, because this isn't a community member character. These aren't. They're non-community member characters. So I'm thinking maybe change the colour scheme just to make it obvious, you know. And eventually I might even add an icon to like show that it's a non-community member character. For Carol the Barrel, we could even have a romance icon to show that she's a romance option in the game, and we can add those on the character sheets that are romance options eventually, but we'll see. Okay, so we don't need that if it's not a community member, so we can move these up. Oopsie. Need to grab that, and that. There we go. I missed that bit, but never mind. Okay, so we'll fill in the stuff first and then we'll think about changing the colour. So, Carol Barrel is a sentient object. That is, I suppose, a way to sum her up, and the others as well. And the fruits are sentient objects too. Fruits are objects, aren't they? I mean, right, because we have a lore video on the YouTube. Let me just get that up and remind myself what I called that video. Lore discussion, the currency and sentience of inanimate objects. Okay, so yeah, sentient objects is probably a good way to sum them up, because I'm thinking of for the title of them, just for consistency. So, sentient object, and I suppose, well, it doesn't need to be object, we could have it as sentient barrel, actually. And then when we do Woody and Oliver, it'd be sentient box and sentient cookie jar. And fruits, it'd be sentient lemon or sentient fruit, to sum it up maybe. So yeah, instead of sentient object barrel, we'll just shorten it to sentient barrel. Carol the Barrel is the name. We don't need AKA there. Only really needed that for the community characters, because we had your Twitch name before their actual name. Okay, so I think that's, yeah, we don't have Carol the Barrel on her ribbon, we just have Carol. Cool. I'm excited. We can actually give Carol a character sheet, finally. How have we not given the main character the whole game a character sheet? Because she really is, I suppose, the main character apart from us, the hero. Okay, so need to find her avatar. And I've got a bazillion folders, so I always forget where her avatars are. Here we go. So at the moment, we just got 3 different expressions for Carol, but I do really want to, you know, maybe not before the first build, but we'll be able to get more done. But obviously before episode 1's release, I want more. I kind of want it to have a sort of blushing face, and one that's really angry as well, and maybe one that's sort of in between angry. I suppose we got a sort of disgusted face there, but we definitely need an angry one too. But this is her default one. There we go. So yes, I'm thinking of changing the colour scheme for the non-community characters, perhaps to, because on the website we're using the blue, but we're also using green. And I chose the green because it's sort of very, it goes with the colours of Everbloom Forest best, and Everbloom Forest is sort of our episode 1 area. So because these characters are introduced in episode 1 and the Everbloom Forest, it would be on theme if we made it green. And then for future non-community characters, we could make it the colour of whatever episode 2 or episode 3 is. Because as an idea, guys, just so you know the sort of long-term plans, I want each episode to have its own like sort of page, fancy page like this. So this is technically episode 1's website page, and then episode 2 will have a different one when that one eventually comes out or is being worked on. Just because it'll keep, you know, everything will just feel a bit like busy otherwise over time, but keeping it like that will keep it more organised, I think. Hi Phoenix, how are you doing? It's good to see you. She was in development all this time. Now we have a firmer grasp on her character, for sure, National. I mean, it's a very sensible thing for me to do this. I think make a character sheet for the others because they're more key at the moment than the community characters. These are the ones we've actually met and are in the story right now. So if anybody's gonna come up with cool ideas or even ideas for your characters, guys, if you haven't made them yet and you're trying to think of how your character can slot in the game, you know, reading the character sheets of people like Carol or even the others that we're going to be making today will, you know, help so much, because so far we've only got, out of all these guys that we've got here, only me, Rose, is actually in the game. You know, these are all future characters. Some will, I'm sure some might appear in episode 1. Because I've been saying I'd love to introduce another 1 or 2 once the fruit boss has been defeated. And then some will be in episode 2, some will be in episode 3. I imagine we'll be introduced to quite a few of them once we get to a larger city. Because, you know, busy, very populated cities like that, there's an opportunity to introduce a lot of the characters then, but right now some of them wouldn't even fit in the area that we're in. So when I think about who's going to be coming in the game next, you know, it'll be somebody who fits that sort of foresty themed character that we've got, and it's all human populated as well. So I know, for example, Aelandra, Kung's character, is a forest character. She hangs about in forests, so it totally wouldn't be a surprise to see her somewhere in the Everbloom Forest, for sure. In fact, I'm expecting that to be the case. But because it's a human village and human area, maybe she's cautious. Who knows? We still haven't really considered the relationship between humans and elves, because she's an elf, but you know, I imagine there'd be some sort of, you know, I mean, Glacian's character sheet hints at that. He says that he's willing to make more friends, even if they're human, and that's coming from an elf, so that's kind of indicating it's some kind of human and elf conflict, which is very common in RPGs anyway, so totally, I could imagine that being a thing. And in between angry, could copy paste half the angry face and half the not angry face. It looks silly, but might work for that expression. Yeah, and National, that has worked really well so far. Just flipping features and changing their position, and that has actually like created some really awesome expressions with the faces. So yeah, it can definitely work. How are you doing now, Phoenix? Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Right, so let's get Photoshop back up. So yeah, I was thinking of doing the green just to make them, to separate them from the blue colour of the community characters. I'm going to I need a colour picker so we can definitely get the right green. There we go. but we should probably change the background and this part as well. Not sure about the ribbon, only because on the website the ribbon's blue for everybody, so I might keep it that way. We'll see how it looks though. There we go. So I think that's selected all one colour. Maybe it'd be easier to do it like this. Yeah, that's made it a little bit more green than it was before. Okay with that. And as for this border here, hi Forgotten, how you doing? It's good to see you, Forgotten. Ready to get my raindrops in? Yeah, you do that grinding. Get all those raindrops, chat. I believe in you. You've got 4 more weeks. So, righty-ho. What we're doing, guys, for Forgotten, for anyone that just popped in, if you're curious, we are actually going all out and making character sheets for the other characters that aren't community characters. Like Carol the Barrel. Look at that. We're just changing the colour scheme so that we can have a consistent colour for all characters like this. I mean, there's only 2 types when it comes to characters in the game. You're either a community character, community member character, or a non-community member character. And we've neglected the non-community characters, even though they've been super key to the story. We've like I've not even thought about doing a character sheet for them, so I'm glad I'm finally doing that. Selective colour. There we go. Don't know about that shade of green though. It might clash a bit with the kind of foresty green we've got. Let me have a mess around. Yeah, that one might be better actually. Doesn't have to be the same green because the blue in the community character sheet isn't any, it's lighter. So oh my goodness me, Aggro, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Forgotten. Oh my god, you know what that means? That means you get 2 times raindrops. It boosts your chances of getting them quicker, so you've got more chance of getting the 500 that way before we officially raise the requirement. So I appreciate you. That is very generous of you, Aggro, to do that for Forgotten. So I hope you enjoy Forgotten. I hope you enjoy those bat emotes and the double raindrops. Let's have some hype in chat. Let's get that hype in chat in, guys. Yay! Yay, thank you, National, for the hype. And hi, Nikki, how you doing? It's good to see you again. How's the game development going? It's going decently. I mean, the last couple of weeks we've had a little bit of a break from the actual game dev because we've been working on a bunch of character sheets and they've been due to be done for a long time. There was 11 on the list and some of them were sitting there since Christmas time, waiting to be done, and so I'm very glad I finally got around to getting them done. Huzzah! Hello, have I missed Poppy? Hi Legmark, how are you doing? Legmark, your character sheet's up on the Twitter. I actually added you. I actually found your secret Twitter account. And I was like, okay, I'll at Legmark. So she's on there, she's on the Twitter, she's famous now. The world is there to see Poppy. And she's wonderful. She's a brilliant character. I have a soft spot already. And Kung, thank you for the hype as well. Well, I'm not logged onto Twitter in years. Yeah, I did notice. I noticed that it was 2018, I think, the last time you was on. And I was like, yeah, I'll still at you though. Because I like to do that. There's a few of you guys that I haven't added, but that's because I couldn't find your Twitters or wasn't sure what your Twitters were. And thank you, Durzel, for the follow. Welcome to the stream. First time viewer, what are you developing, Durzel? Well, I've got a couple of commands for you here. If you wanna have a peek of what we do here. The website's probably the best thing to look at, even though it does need an update, and the next update will be happening early next month, all going well. But we also have a YouTube as well. And everything's on there, like the story so far, lore videos, and a sneak peek of our custom character creator as well. And over time we're going to build lots of videos, because we've only got not many so far, but all the streams are on there. All the streams are on YouTube too. But yeah, it's a fun thing. It's good to have you here, Durzel. Hi Scaly, how you doing? Been lurking but wanted to say hello. Yay! Scaly added me as a Switch friend the other day, so I'm happy now. Her island probably looks better than mine though in Animal Crossing. Pretty sure of it, because mine is terrible right now. Okay, so let's get these colours right. Actually, I'm being very fussy over this colour here, this second green that we've got. What I might actually do is find a screenshot of the Evergreen Forest and just get the colour picker on it on a nice lighter green, because I kind of want these character sheets for Carol etc to match with the Everbloom Forest, because they're introduced in the episode. Okay, so where do I keep my screenshots of the Everbloom Forest? Okay, so there's one here. There, we'll take that green, shall we? The green of the grass, and we'll use that if we can. Oh, I've already. There we go. I mean, one way we can do it is like this. We can just add a colour overlay, because I think it's going to be hard to get it accurate if we just manually try and change the colour. So I'm going to go over it this way. Well, I love it. Poppy lives. She does. She's great. And I see Poppy as one of the characters that will be introduced in episode 1. she definitely fits being introduced early on based on her character arc and the fact that she's very key to Rose and stuff that's happening with Rose right now. So it's very relevant to bring Poppy Papercut into the story. In the Everbloom Forest, I'd say, for sure, where there's a lot of characters who would be coming much later because they would likely reside in areas that, you know, we're nowhere near to on the map yet. I have not yet. Have you made your character Scaly? Scaly's pretty close, aren't you? She's doing quite well with those raindrops. Oh, you've already got the 500 raindrops, I just noticed. Yeah, you got them now. So yeah, guys, if you get the 500 raindrops before the 8th of June, and you fill in your character form before the 8th of June, then you'll be in the next batch of characters that I'm going to make character sheets for. I'm also going to just get the Trello up again. I've got here in June, one of the tasks for June is to do profiles for community member characters, Neffels and any others that are submitted before the 8th of June. So that will be when I'll be doing the next lot, guys, that get submitted. And I'll add your name here as well. Your Twitch name will go on this list when you fill in a form. So woohoo. So until then, we're going to do the community sheets for Carol, the Fruits, the Bookingtons. It's going to be a nice chill rest of the week doing those. But we're going to get into some really intense and challenging game development stuff next week with the battle mechanics mainly. It's going to be interesting because we've been quite ambitious about the first boss, I have to say. We're going all out with it. So it's going to be fun and it's going to be very rewarding when I pull it off, but it's definitely not going to be a piece of cake. So it'll be fun just having a bit of chill time doing character sheets until we go all the way out and in doing that. And let me catch up with chat. Is the game made in Unity? It's made in RPG Maker, Durzel. So I have a command here, guys. RPG Maker is wonderful, guys. It's so good if you're like new to games and you're not a coder, but I will say as well, it's very it can be very limited, and I've definitely experienced that while doing cutscenes in particular, and the lack of being able to do some ambitious animations. It can be quite limited, but I just get around it with hacks. I do hacks. I break the engine to try and get what I need to be done. Let's catch up with chat then, because I'm so behind, guys, with chat. So I bet I haven't said hi to people that have been coming in as well. And that can't be real. Surely they want them for the viewer numbers. What's that? I found out recently that some streamers tell the mods to ban the lurkers. Like, if you haven't talked in a few minutes, you get banned. Well, I'm not sure who those streamers are, but I'll tell you now, they're not streamers I want to know, because that is absolutely insane, if you ask me. Like, as for me personally, and a lot of streamers that I personally know, we love our lurkers. They're everything. Without lurkers, you've got not much at all as a streamer. That is your backbone. What would you be without your lurkers, really? Those streamers are asking to be miserable, I say, if those that do that. And have you made your characters? Oh, I've already read that bit. And it's real. Couldn't believe it too. Some call the lurkers out too, or being passive aggressive to them. It's unreal. That is really toxic. I don't want whoever they are. I hope I never run into them. Forgotten. And yes, I cannot wait to see Poppy in the story. I can't wait either, Legmark. I'm more of a lurker myself. I hope you don't mind. Glad to hear the development is going well. Not at all. Not at all, guys. I want you to know I'm not anything like whoever that streamer Forgotten mentioned. Absolutely nothing. And like I said, most people I know aren't like that either who stream. So don't worry, guys. Don't get disheartened, because that is definitely not the norm. Definitely not. I'm making it right now. Yay! That's awesome, Skelly. I'll put your name on the on our little Trello list here once I've got your form. 500 drops hype, yay. True Baldy, how are you doing? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, True Baldy, for taking forever to say hi. I knew that someone had come in. And how are you doing, True Baldy? It's lovely to see you. I was catching up on chat. You guys are awesome for chatting to me. Give me all the love. Hope you're being well, True Baldy. How's life going on your end? You doing the music stuff still? It is not about the tool, it is about the implementation. Durzel, that's an amazing attitude. That's what I love to hear. And I couldn't agree more, because there's games out there that are made in RPG Maker that, you know, have pushed boundaries and they're astonishingly good, you know. And there's some games that might be made in Unity that aren't good. So exactly, it's about the implementation. Oh cool, are you doing your character True Baldy? True Baldy has got raindrops as well, you guys. You guys are the best. Rosie's gold standard of how a streamer should be. Oh my goodness, forgotten. Good job that I'm a humble person, because if I wasn't, I'd have, my head would be like this right now. And Argo's really getting those raindrops as well. Look at you. Okay, so I'm going to get Photoshop back up now. And I've picked it's like a bit of a bogey coloured green, isn't it, when you look at it like that. Although it does look pretty when it's on the map. I'm still not sure about the green. I'm being so fussy, guys. I can be when it comes to colours. I'm never satisfied. I always mess about for ages. I think a nice pastel coloured green would actually look nicer, if I'm being honest. So I'm trying to grab that from one of the trees. Maybe that would be a nice one. But I'm not expecting Carol's character sheet to be done today on stream today. I'm expecting to be tidying it up off stream and carrying on with it on Friday's stream as well. We'll see, because we have a lot of characters to do. There's 10. No, there's 12. There's 12 characters to do. We'll see. I'm not going to do a super detailed character sheet, I don't think, because there's a lot that's still very much undecided with these characters with their arcs, and a lot of it I want to flesh out over time. So it's not going to be like a very detailed one for each of them. Probably going to keep it brief. Did that even change colour? I feel like it didn't, because it seems similar to the other one. PNGI, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I'm good as always. I'm glad that you're doing good, True Baldy. As always, it's lovely to see you. Laughing my ass off, LOL. What did I say that was funny? And it's way overdue. I hope to get it done very soon. I have so much stuff to do at the moment. Always happy to be here, yay. Well, guys, you don't worry. If you've got 4 weeks. That's why I wanted to give you 4 weeks. I didn't want to drop it on you and be like, okay, guys, from today it's 1,000 raindrops. You know, that's a bit mean. So I didn't want to drop it on you. I wanted to give you a 4 weeks to get your character forms in and to grind the rest of those raindrops for those of you that are still getting them. But yes, I'm excited. Okay, I think that colour's better. Just felt that we're clashing those other greens with this green we've got here. Okay, so we still got to do those. Some of the questions won't be relevant to Carol though. So some of them we won't have. One sec, let me check out the website. I might keep the ribbon blue. I'll see how it looks at the end. Because it might look nice if it was the yellow or the green, but I don't want it to look odd when it's on the website either. If we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna have a peep actually and see. Because it would probably make sense if we made it the colour of that, because that's how they are for the community characters. If we click on a community character, they've got the same colour ribbon as the background. So if we want to be consistent, that's probably the best way to do it. It's brighter indeed. I'm listening, but work is quite busy, so I won't be in chat much. Nice to have you on in the background. Oh, well, I appreciate you having me as your background noise, Alice. That's very kind of you. And I hope work goes well as well, by the way. Hope it's not working you too hard. I was laughing at you talking about getting a big head. LOL. That's funny. Sweet time with it as well. And it's fine to take your time with the character sheets, guys, because I had a message from someone in the community the other day, and they said that, you know, the character that they're planning, they want to like sort of wait and see what happens in the story, and that might give them some more ideas for what character they can do once the main story starts to be built more though. So some people prefer doing it that way and waiting, but other people at the same time are very excited to get a character sheet done, so I can understand that too. Hi Alice, by the way, you were making the cool dress on Guy's stream, weren't you? Yes, Alice and Guy live together. They're absolutely fantastic human beings. And yeah, she makes awesome dresses. I had a peek at the Instagram. It looks amazing. Maybe a darker green would look better. It might do, but I'll kind of also want to be consistent, because I believe, let me just get, it'll be nice to have this one up as a reference. We'll get Dave up as a sort of reference. Yeah, it's the exact same. I think it is the exact same blue, and there is a shadow behind, so probably keep it like that. But yeah, I think I agree that a dark green could look nice, but I'm always one of these people that are reluctant to go off the consistent sort of branding look we've got. Okay, so there we go. So we just need to change these to yellow and that banner there as well. Also, I think we definitely got too much space here, so we can bring that up. I think have it as, I think it can go up by about 40 pixels. Keyboard ASMR. Yeah, I'm not going to write in these guys' section here. I know some of the character sheet do have descriptions here, which is awesome, but I'm going to try and not put too much work on myself with these, because we'll be here till the summer otherwise. And mainly just because there's a lot to still figure out with these characters, Carol, etc. There's not really a full detailed profile I can give them at the moment, because we've developed their personalities. We kind of know what they're like in terms of, you know, this will be perfect filling in this little section here, for example. But other than that, we have like a brief, like, 1 sentence description on each of them, but there's so much when it comes to character arc and all that stuff. There's just so much to figure out with them still. So yes, we won't go too detailed. Right, so we do need to put Carol's sprite in as well, but the funny thing about these guys is that I haven't finished all the direction assets for all of them yet. Carol's are done, but some of Woody's hasn't been done, and a couple of others haven't been done. So for now, I'll probably just do this front-facing sprite on the character sheet for them, for the barrels, and for Woody. Unfortunately, I have to get back to many things I have to do today. We'll lurk in the background to pant. You okay with that? Yeah. For sure, True Baldy. I'm just horrified that that it actually is a thing with some streamers. Like, what are they even thinking? Being upset with lurkers. It's a mindset I don't get at all. Like, what is there to be upset about, really? I don't get time to make clothes for myself very often. Does Carol have legs? She doesn't. She's just a barrel. She hops. She, like, does that. She just hops away round the place. And, yeah, you take care, True Baldy, and I hope the many things you have to do today go smoothly and awesomely. And thank you for stopping by and saying hello, and for lurking as well. And I'm really sorry I've capstone on what I didn't mean to type. Oh, no worries. I used to know someone who would ban people for typing in caps. I personally don't get offended by it. I think it just shows excitement personally, and I like seeing hype and excitement. So, yeah. Carol's makeup is on point. It is. She is a stunner. She's a stunner, Forgotten. And she's going to be a romance option in the game. So you guys now realise that I'm very pro humans being in relationships with objects. You know? It's a thing now. Hi Hinnel, how you doing? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Maybe she used a marker instead of a pencil. Maybe. Okay, so I'm after Carol's sprite. Where is she hiding? All these folders of all these assets. And when I look in the sprites folder, it takes forever to find things, because there's hundreds upon hundreds of assets for the custom hero. It's crazy, guys. Okay, so here's Carol's sprite. So yeah, we did do her from the side. We've done that. We've added a face for her, but we don't actually have a face for Alvira or Hank yet, or Woody from the side. I don't even know if Woody would have a face from the side, because he's a flat cardboard box. So you're probably very, very unlikely to see his face. And Meryl's, we did start her face, but she kind of looks a bit deformed at the moment, so she needs fixing. But Carol's looking fine. But for now, I'm probably gonna just put her front sprite, and we can always update them in the future if I want to put the side views on as well. Oh, goal. We don't have a goal. Carol should have a goal. They should all have a goal, shouldn't they? They're major NPCs. So, right, let's think. I'm going to have a look at the character sheet. Right, we're on the website. Completely actually slipped my mind about Carol's goal, because this is a last minute thing, folks. This doing the character sheets for Carol and the others was something I decided, you know, realised that I needed to do just a few hours ago. So I'm very unplanned with this, but it was something I felt, oh, this 100% needs to be done. Absolutely needs to be done. So that's why we're doing it today. Ban the lurkers, make it so their lurk remains eternal. Someone quoted a streamer tell their mods to go and ban lurkers. It was awkward to read, my goodness. I'm curious who these streamers are, I really am. But at the same time, I also want to keep well away, because it is so weird and toxic. Don't worry, Rose, we don't kink shame. Well, I'm sure Carol the Barrel is everybody's kink, I'm sure. I mean, maybe not everyone's, but I'm telling you, my chat, from what I've seen, seems to love the idea of romancing Carol the Barrel. Hi, Big, how are you doing? Can it do the barrel? It can. We do have a barrel rolling animation for Carol as well. Because there's a scene in Carol's flashback scene, there's an incident where she rolls out the wagon, and I want to get that scene up for you guys in the Discord soon. We got scene discussion here, and there's two scenes, the Carol flashback scene and the fruit pre-boss cutscene as well. And like the Carol flashback scene is like literally 98% done. And the fruit flashback scene is getting there. So, which is why I haven't yet, you know, archived this, because we're still kind of working on it. The barrel is so cute. She's adorable. She's amazing. I mean, she's a Sundayer. She's pretty hostile, folks, in all honesty, but she's got a heart of gold deep down. I'm gonna get the bios up for them that we did have. Let me get them up, because these will be really helpful when creating their character sheets. So I'm loading the app I use to make notes on things. This was like a timeline and plot thing we did. This what you see here is literally what I said in the lore video. So if anyone's interested in the lore of the sentient objects, then I have a YouTube video for it. And here they are. So Carol is a hostile barrel who behaves harshly to others but has a secret softer side. You know, she is an interesting one. So this is this the main? Yeah, this is Major NPC. So she would be. I'm probably not going to do the faction one for these guys. The faction question's literally just there so I can kind of get an idea on who a faction your character would be in, because I love factions, and there'll probably be a lot of factions in Raindrop Chronicles, so it just gives me more insight into what kind of faction they'd be in, if any, but it's not really relevant for Carol and the other barrels. So we have like quite a few goals here. And I think matching up an appropriate goal with each of these characters would be good, because it'd just give you guys a sort more of an idea of them. And obviously we'll fill in the personality. I'm inclined to give them a flaw as well, and a fear. So we'll say in that case, if we got, yeah, we do still have the layer, so get Photoshop up. Also, I should probably zoom in on that form a bit so you guys can see a bit more clearly. But for those of you that don't want to romance Carol, there will definitely be other options, so don't you worry, chat. Cat boys, yes, we do have Kitty Neko characters in our game as well. Hi Moon, no, don't go banning lurkers, that would include me since I'm lurking like a pro today. My goodness me, guys, you know me. You know how much I love my lurkers. How you doing, Moon? I appreciate the lurk, by the way. Toxic barrel. I like my barrel spicy. I still think Woody needs an umbrella. Yeah, poor Woody's gonna get wet. Do we have Woody's wet? Is the one on the website wet Woody? Can't remember now if we got wet. Oh no, we have dry Woody on the website currently, because we also do have an asset of Woody being wet as well. It's like giving him like a really chiseled chin as well, the shape of how the wetness is on him, and I love it. But when we first meet him, when we first encounter him in Carol's first flashback, he is a dry box at that point, so we'll have him dry for now. And same with Hank, he doesn't have his hole in him here because he's not holeless when we first meet him. Right, so we can also change the colour of this as well. So get Photoshop up. Oh no, I lost the... There we go. We can just pick it with the colour picker. So Carol is not solving an ancient mystery, so we'll get rid of that. We'll just put question mark for now. How much spacing do we have here? Get rid of that. Character sheet submitted, awesome Scaly. I'm super excited to see it. I'll be adding you on the list of character sheets to do just under Neffel then. So that will mean when I do the next batch of them in June, I'm going to wait for the deadline to close on the 8th of June before starting any of them. But once I do start them, you'll be like the first one after Neffel. Like, I do them all in order of submission. So, huzzah. I like the dress. You did an awesome job. Is there an event you were making it for, or just wanted to make new clothes for yourself? Yeah, Alice enjoys making costumes, don't you? It's your dream creative career, I believe, isn't it, Alice? And I hope that you get that one day. I believe in you. And that's so harsh of them. I have to semi-lurk all the time. Can't be 100% there for streams, unfortunately. Well, I say those streamers should be boycotted. They don't deserve you guys. If they're not gonna appreciate the lurk you give them, you know, they don't deserve you anyway. They clearly have a misunderstanding how important and appreciated lurkers are. I mean, you'd be nothing without your lurkers. No every streamer would be nothing without their lurkers. Not many events going on right now with lockdown. No, just for fun. Oh, it is just for fun. That was me thinking you were a pro costume maker, Alice. Yeah, I'm at work too. I can't be here 100% at the time either. I miss a lot of the chat, lol. Yeah, and I have a lot of work, because like most of my stream people that come in are at work while I'm streaming. Are you going to be a reptile, Scaly? Surprisingly, no. Well, that's funny though. You would think so with the name Scaly. But yes, I'm excited to say. Because every single character that's been done is really unique in their own way and has something. Like, you just look at all those characters we've had submitted. They're all like really different, aren't they? They all offer something different. Will you take the raindrops, or do I need to redeem them with a command? Oh, you're fine, Scaly. Everything can stay as it is. So you still keep your raindrops, and you still can carry on grinding and grinding until you get to 1 million raindrops. I've got, how many do I have again? Yeah. I'm nearly the top rank. Been a couple of stressful days and not nearly enough sleep. My lady got very ill suddenly on Monday night, so things have been well exhausting. Oh really? Helena's not well? Oh my goodness me, Moon. Give her my hugs and love, and I hope everything's okay and it's not too serious. And I'm here for you if you need me. You bring great shame to the Scaly name, LOL joke. Sometimes you just want to be something different than who you are. Hope she feels better soon. Hope so too, yeah. Sending her my love, Moon, and you as well. I do make costumes for work as well, but this was for me. I have you up on the 75-inch so I can portray. Oh my god, I'm on your big screen, Kia. My goodness. I must be my face must be massive at the moment then. I mean, I'm very embarrassed. Sorry to hear that, Moon. Hoping for a speedy recovery. Lots of love for Moon, guys. Let's give Moon some hugs and love in chat. There we go. Well, that's good at least. It's a good job I don't have a big fat fester on my face. Do you guys know what a fester is? I don't know if it's a word that anybody else uses. Luckily, I have pretty clear skin. You know what the trick is? Green tea. If you ever like get breakouts, guys, trust me on this one, just drink green tea. It literally got rid of all mine for good. It's a blessing. Hope it's all over soon. I love that cozy emote. That's absolutely adorable. Crusader. There's a little kitty there as well. I love tea. Just finished my second cup of Earl Grey today. Yeah, I tend to have at least 2 cups of green tea every single day. I'm addicted to it now. Okay, so let's bring up this border and I don't know why that happens, but I do select everything, but for some reason it chooses to not bring it all up, but we'll do it. I'm hungry. It's just shocking because I had food 10 minutes before I went live and I'm hungry already. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. So we're going to fill in Carol's, we're going to pick the best traits for Carol now, and give a goal for her as well. And we might have some more questions here. We don't need the what do you do for a living question. We don't need the do you have any family in town question. But I like the Flora and Fear questions, and I like the anything else you would like to tell us question as well, because that's the opportunity to just expand on the character a bit and give a little bit of information. But we'll do this bit first. I love tea as well, coffee and tea, and not everybody likes hot drinks, you know, either, which is fine. I just forced myself to like hot drinks because I never actually did until I was about in my early 20s. Once I was in my early 20s, I fell in love with coffee and tea. I hated it before then. Tea is very soothing, it is. Alright, so let's go back to the form. Can I zoom in a bit? Also, she is technically an ally. I feel like we need to still add that bit of information in. So what goals we got? To stay alive, to return home, to find a new home, to fight for your homeland, to protect the innocents. I know exactly what it is for Carol. She's looking for a family who have been kidnapped. That's the reason we get the flashback and meet these guys in the first place. Just so we can figure out, well, so we find out how it all happened. And I want to release a sneak peek of that scene as well when I finally have polished it, because a lot of you didn't see me make that scene, so you wouldn't even know what it's all about. But it's so important to Carol's story arc, so I'm probably gonna release a sneak peek YouTube video of that soon, in the next few weeks or so. Especially the herbal ones. Yeah, they're nice too. I had like a tea set for Christmas, and that was really nice. They were like herbal teas. Dark, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. So it's either going to be... to find out the fate of somebody could, but let's see if there's any others that are better. And I'm totally for adding more to these. Like, if you guys have a character that you make and you've got a goal in mind and it isn't on the list, then feel free to tell me and I'll add it. Or you could always just pick one and just say that what the goal is in this section instead, if there's one that's a bit closer. Because I'm thinking with Carol now, to find out the fate of somebody is pretty close, but we could get more specific, in all honesty, when it comes to Carol, because it is her goal. Carol's goal is really what is the main quest line in this whole episode, potentially further into the game too. But you don't realise it, and you don't find out about it until the second main quest. So basically, guys, in the main story section of the Discord, this is kind of what is going to be in the next story so far video. To find her family, to find her kin, to find her family. Something like that would be say family sums it up better. So would it be her? What tense do I use for this? Let me just remind myself. Oh, your. So to find your true identity, to find your. So it wouldn't be her. So now let's decide her personality. Yorkshire tea is very good. Yeah, my family. That's my family's favourite. Funnily enough, I never have been partial to the Yorkshire tea. I'm a weird one there though, because it is a very popular choice. But I always tend to go for the green tea or some of the herbal or fruity teas. Okay, emotional disposition, angry, anxious, apathetic, calm, curious, excited, joyful, or melancholy. It's angry for Carol. Yes, that is how she is. She's an angry lady. She is a Sundayer. And as we have in her description here, it says, a hostile barrel who behaves harshly to others but has a secret softer side. I don't think we've got many angry characters in the game so far. So outlook would be pessimistic. It's an interesting one because she could be kind of optimistic about finding her family, like she still holds the hope, I guess. But her way she talks is very negative. And her attitude is quite negative to other people too. Like the way she speaks to Rose and the hero. Her integrity would be honest. Carol, she's not deceitful. She might have her flaws. She might be a bit of a hothead, have a bad temper, be mean to people, but she isn't a deceitful person or a liar. She is honest. Impulsiveness would be spontaneous. Her boldness would be reckless. Her agreeableness will probably be narrow-minded for sure, because she's a barrel. When it comes to like appreciating people's differences, she's pretty like, you know, she's only really bothered about her fellow kin and barrels, and that she despises humans. She calls them flesh bags. She can be a bit derogatory, I guess, in a fictional way. We're not going to use real life bad terms that are too bad, if you know what I mean. I drink herbal tea normally. Not a big fan of milk, brutally honest. Yeah, she is brutally honest for sure. And I'm the same, Alice. I drink milks that are plant-based milk, like soya milk and almond and coconut milk, because if I drink cow's milk, I get bad stomach. I think I have a bit of an intolerance for it, so I tend to have plant milk as a snack quite often because it fills me up a bit before dinner. Me neither. Okay, so she's narrow-minded. She despises humans and probably most humanoids, to be honest. To be honest, she'd probably despise anybody. Her interactivity would be talkative for sure. She doesn't shut up. And her conformity would be rebellious. So that's Carol's profile, guys, and I'm really happy I'm doing the character sheets for these guys now, because it's just going to give you just more of an idea of their personality. Like I said, I'm not planning to go too detailed into it, but I think it's really helpful just to see like a little overview of them. And I do want to get the other directions in. I mean, I've done Carol's directions, so I could easily put her other directions on by the sprites, but for consistency reasons and because the other barrels don't have their side views yet, I'm not going to. Okay, so now we just need to do the floor fear and anything else you would like to tell us part. And then we just tidy up what we need to, and then we can move on to the next one. I'd really like to get all the container characters done today. Maybe even more if possible, but we'll see. Because sometimes you get stuck and think, oh, what am I going to put now? Okay, so I'm going to change, obviously, this title colour to yellow from blue. Almond milk is so good. Oh yes, I love coconut milk. You know what also is really yummy? Having both. I had a combination of almond and coconut milk, and that was really nice. They're super good. Maybe the characters that are reckless could maybe attack at random times during combat. Well, if you're a playable character, then that's a possibility, but that could also be that could even be somebody's skill. It could be a potential skill or a trait as well. Because on our skill tree, we have combat-based skills that are based on their job, their class, but we also have race-based skills on skill tree, but we haven't actually implemented any race-based skills yet, but it has been considered. So for example, any elves or fairies or might have different sort of traits in battle to humans, but you know, that could totally work for personality too. I guess it depends how in depth we want to go with this, and but it's interesting. It's definitely interesting to consider. Something like racials. Yeah, we have it. It's been very briefly touched upon. It's nothing that we've implemented, and if we were going to implement race traits, it would be something that we'd add afterwards, perhaps. We'll see. Because I'm still building the skill tree at the moment, and it's at a very early point. So any fancy stuff or extra stuff would have to be put in once we're actually happy with the foundation and basic level of it. But yeah, we'll be revisiting the skill tree stuff very soon, because we'll be working on battle mechanics late for the rest of this month. So that'll be exciting. Are barrel people also wary of feline people? Would felines try to claw at barrels instinctively? Maybe. And that's interesting to bring up, National, as well, because we haven't encountered any felines yet. We know they exist and that they're in the game, but there aren't any in Lake Fall and Everbloom. It's basically a very human populated area. So in terms of who we're going to meet in episode 1, it's mainly going to be humans and sentient enchanted objects from the spell that happened in Everbloom Forest, which was talked about in the lore video. So yes, like Carol herself, like Carol and her family haven't lived that long because they were only brought to life in within the last year. And so their experience of life is very limited right now. And they might have not even had a chance to meet some races out there yet in the big wider world. So they're very childlike and naive to a certain extent, especially Oliver is the most because he's the youngest. He was the one that was most recently brought to life. But in a way, Meryl and Carol are also quite naive and childish too. Alvira and Hank are definitely the wisest, but they're also the oldest barrels, so they tend to understand a little bit more of the world because they were the ones that awoke first. Hi Binary, how's it going? It's so good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Look, your doggo is on the screen as well. Yay. Okay, so I've lost the yellow. There we go. It's back now. Yay! But one thing about mentioning like claws or anything like that, Carol doesn't seem scared of Rose from the cutscenes we've had so far. She kind of mocks her a bit for not being able to hurt her because she's like, you'll just get splinters in your teeth, as if she kind of mocks her a bit at one point and said, I can't remember the exact dialogue line now, but it is related to Rose getting splinters in her mouth if she dares try and like attack her. So she doesn't seem scared of sharp teeth. But Carol, even if she was scared, I feel like she's the sort of person that wouldn't show it. Like if she genuinely was under threat, she would like put on a brave face still and try and put this bravado, and because she's very much, she doesn't like to show her vulnerability. Even though that vulnerability is there, she wouldn't show it. Okay, so we're actually using Binary's character as a template at the moment. We've still got his stuff in here, but we're going to fill in and replace it with Carol's now. I should also save this PSD as well. Just realised I hadn't even saved it. Although Photoshop tends to be nice and recovers things that don't get saved. Right, so we're gonna think of a flaw and fear for Carol. So this is interesting now, guys. I guess in all honesty, her biggest flaw is the fact she's so hostile and doesn't give people a chance. And she's rude to others. I'm hostile and behave harshly to others. Almond milk is my favourite. I understand the unsweetened vanilla. Oh, you love the unsweetened vanilla almond milk. I like that one too. But I'm glad that, yeah, we all love that milk. It's yummy though. And I've only just started drinking it in the last few months as well. Hi Sarah, how you doing? It's good to see you. I'm hostile and behave harshly to others. And that involves calling people names. Like I call humans flesh bags. I often call Does that term make sense? Often that sentence, I mean, I often call people names. I think that's fine. Sometimes I get brain mush and my brain is like mush and I'm not like, I'm like, does that make sense? I often call people names. Maybe just keep it like that. I'm willing to expand on that floor and write more. I can't. That is what jumps at me the most about Carol the Barrel, that she's hostile and behaves harshly to others and often calls people names. She's the Sundayer. Okay, so biggest fear. Bring this one up a bit then. Okay, so Carol's biggest fear probably, let me think of what we know of her so far. Being hated by others because of her personality could be her fear. I don't know whether Carol she doesn't really care about people and their opinion. She puts on this front. I mean, I think deep down she does, but it's not something she would. It's like layers that are so hidden, like that wouldn't get revealed until Endgame. Such vulnerabilities like wanting to be loved and to be liked. It's definitely there. But they're just so hidden. She's like an onion. You'd have to peel away all those layers to like get to that core of her. I think there's probably a more obvious, straightforward fear. And that would be not being able to find her family. Because that is what her goal is, to find her family, particularly Oliver, her son, because she's very driven by that. It's all she cares about, in all honesty. It's all she cares about, so to such an extent that the hero, us ourselves, are dragged on this journey with her, because Carol has kind of forced herself into our company. So we end up on this journey with her because she's such a personality and she's so aggressive, and that we end up just going with her on this journey. But it's interesting, and it's going to lead to some interesting things. There's still a lot in the open and a lot to be fleshed out, but there's some ideas there, and it's interesting. It does relate to Raindrops quite well. I'm going to put the lore video back in chat, guys, because it's all there. It's a 3-minute long video, and it's about Carol, really. It's kind of about them all the sentient objects. I have oat milk, apparently. I liked it, but not my favourite. Oh, I haven't tried that one. Oat milk's one that I haven't tried. Okay, anything else you would like to tell us? Well, this is interesting. I guess what could go here is anything important about Carol that hasn't been said yet. So we've said that she's looking for a family. We said that she's hostile Yeah, you know, she's an angry Sunday, and those are kind of the key things about Carol. I guess we could say here, this is where we could talk about her secret softer side, probably then. I have a secret softer side, but nobody will ever see it. Something like that. But I will make sure nobody ever sees it. If Carol is your romance option, then, you know, I'm sorry, Carol, you'll have to show it us. Does she keep anything inside herself? Awesome question, National. Well, she is our inventory. When we first meet her, we are actually inside her as the player. In the story so far video, let's get it up. You'll see the first meeting of Carol and the hero, and she wants to stay with us. She like makes up this excuse as if, you violated me and you've got to pay for this, and puts on this front as if, yeah, you got to pay for being inside me and violating me. But she, deep down, it's like, but is that true, Carol? Maybe you're just coming with us because you love us. Maybe that's why she's really coming. She's got attached to us, but she doesn't want to admit that. And she basically offers to be our inventory. She's like, I'll be your inventory. I've got a purpose. You can put your things inside me. So really that is kind of what she is at the start. She's just our inventory, but things just get more wild at that point. She just ends up confessing all her backstory to us, and she's like, yeah, Rose knows where's my Rose knows where my family are, but because she's a mute and she can't speak human words, how the hell am I going to find my family now? And you know, everything just unfolds from there. Carol is the Sunday she is, guys, and if anybody knows any awesome fictional Sunday ladies, feel free to recommend them to me in chat, because inspiration is always very helpful. So for sure, I'd love to do a bit of research for some Carol inspiration. Okay, so I think that's all good, guys. I think I'm happy with this profile for Carol now, so I'm just going to bring this up, this logo and the banner. So it's a major NPC banner. I think we accidentally cropped it off, so I'm gonna have to copy Dave's. Okay, so we will have to change the colour of that to the green. The logo is going to stay blue though, because that's the colour of the logo. I used to change the logo colours to match with the colour schemes of graphics I made, but then I thought I'd rather stay consistent with the kind of brand colours that we're having. Right, so So all the UI in the game is blue as well. I don't know, because this is yeah, I think is that the right colour? I'm not sure. In fact, it's probably better to manually colour it in. Ooh, what are these on this banner? Delete those. Didn't see those on the other, and that's because it had a blue background. I have the perfect example, just need to remember. Now that is perfectly fine, forgotten. If you ever remember, then totally feel free to say. Okay, so we got Carol's done, and if we can use her as a template for the others now, that'll be awesome. So we've got Carol the Barrel, Sentient Barrel Ally, Carol, to find your family. And that'll work fine, I think. I'm still not sure about some of the colours. I might, before it gets posted, it's mainly the background. It still looks a tiny bit blue. So I might have a mess around with that before it officially gets posted on social media and on the Discord. But let's just save her, and we'll do the others now as well. So I'm gonna copy this image and we'll call this one Meryl. So we're doing Meryl now, guys. It's fun that we're putting a bit more attention to these barrels, because it's been a while. It's been a while since we've caught up with them, and they deserve the limelight because they're awesome. Tiger Aishka from Toradora. Awesome. Probably said that name completely wrong and butchered it. But I'm bad at saying names. But there we go. I'll do a look into that one. Thanks for letting me know. I've forgotten. I can't believe I'm hungry already. I'm going to have to go get my snack soon. My goodness me. Okay, so Meryl. Now, Meryl is wonderful, guys. So, who here doesn't know Meryl? A few of you probably. Because the last time we really spent time with these guys was back in... might be in February. It could have been March, but it might not have been. Yeah, it was a while ago anyway. So now Meryl is just really Meryl. She's not Meryl the Barrel like Carol the Barrel. Carol's the MVP of the crew, so she has to have Carol the Barrel as the title. No one else can be the Barrel. So yeah, I've got the name thing now. It kind of looks a bit, I'm worried it looks a bit weird, but that is how the others looked, the other character sheets. I think it's because we don't have the larger text above it. But it's fine. It'll do for now. Like I said, I might have a mess around with the layout off stream and perfect it a bit more. Oh, Scaly, thank you for joining the Discord. Woo. Hi, Pooh. Okay. I mean, I'm still not sure about the green, but we might go with it. It might look fine. I didn't want it to be blue because I wanted to separate it from the community character sheets, but I think it's the background. I think it's that the background looks a bit blue. I think once that's green, it might look a bit better. We'll see. Okay, so she's also a sentient Barrelala, and her goal, also let's get Meryl spriting because we've still got Carol's. It'll probably look better when we have all the directions as well. Oh, okay, one sec, I've just remembered something as well. Let's open both Carol and Meryl's sprites up. So I did make a little small edit to Carol the Barrel sprite a couple of weeks ago, just so her little hop when she walks looks better. And it looks much better now. All I did was squash her by 1 pixel, and it's made the world of difference. But Meryl's still like how Meryl is still old Meryl. Her sprite is 1 pixel long. But I did write the instructions down for how I need to change it. So I'm just going to get that up actually. And it should only take a minute to do. It's not really. But this is it basically. I wrote some notes down for how I do the barrel resizings. I'm going to have to just refer to those when we do the other barrels, because otherwise we'll have the wrong assets in. I only did Carol's because she's currently the only one who was visible in the scene we was working on, but the others definitely need to be done because they're still in the flashback scene. And this was only a very recent change. It was something I only did literally a couple of weeks ago, so I might only do these ones for now just to save time. All I need to do is move this part down by 1, and it looks fine with that bit's moved. It doesn't look too squashed because there's still so much area there, so it's fine. So those bits, and actually it might be worth doing them all because it's literally easy peasy. But the same thing will have to be done for Hank and Elvira too. Obviously not Woody and Oliver because they're not barrels. I can make a list of Sunday characters and DM you in Discord if you like. Oh, I wasn't forgotten. That'd be fantastic. Totally. Thank you. Hi Rod, how you doing? To keep her dignity, obviously, why does a barrel need a bra? There's an interesting story there to potentially be built, Kia. The idea, we just wanted to make a barrel character that really was memorable. I think that was the goal with all of them. We wanted them all to stand out in some way or another based on the personality we were building for them. And Meryl is your typical, how would we put this? She's, I think it's a very American term, but Valley Girl was the term. And I'm not very familiar with that because I'm British, but it's a very common term in America. But that is basically what Meryl's like. She's one that wants to have a boyfriend. She likes to, be liked. She's very different to Carol, just very different in the way that Carol's more gothic. You've got the gothic vibes with Carol more. She's the angry badass. She puts up with no crap, Carol, whereas Meryl's a bit softer and more girly. and she is in love with an oil drum as well, but this oil drum is really, well, according to Elvira, this oil drum is not the best for Meryl at all. He is not the man for her. And we haven't met the oil drum yet. We don't even have an asset of him, because he's just talked about, the oil drum. He's just somebody who's talked about, but we don't have a clue what he looks like yet. All we know is he's Meryl's boyfriend. Because she is a modest girl, unlike Carol. Carol's a nude barrel. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there could be a whole bunch of reasons why the barrel is actually wearing a bra. Somebody once suggested in chat, perhaps a couple of kids were playing a prank. And this was before maybe Meryl was even sentient. Maybe when the days when Meryl was just an ordinary non-living barrel, some kids just put on a bra as a prank. Like, that is just one idea of potentially many that we could have for the backstory of Meryl. And it's fun. It's fun to think of all the possibilities. Hey, what are you doing on stream today? Hi Jimmy, how are you doing? We're doing some character sheets for the non-community members, because we have so many, well, there's a few so far. There's the barrel companions, there's the fruit bosses that were characters that we created together on stream, and they need to be added to the list. We need to give them the moment to shine as well, and these sheets will just be very useful for folk who are new to the stream and don't know who Carol is yet, or don't know who Meryl is yet, and just to give them a bit of insight into the character. Because Carol really so far is she's been a very key character. She's a very key early game character, so we definitely need to give her some love. And her family, the family aren't as important as Carol, but they're still very vital to Carol's plot. So we need to do their character sheets too. So where were we with Meryl? Because we were just editing her sprite. Because we're going to put a sprite in. Yeah, so I've done all that row. That front row. And just this one needs to be done too. And don't even ask why she looks like that there. Just say she's shocked. She's absolutely mortified. Poor Meryl. That backstory would be very funny. Yeah, so when someone said it in chat, I made a note of it, because I thought actually that especially if we don't get any other ideas, that one would work very well. And it's believable too. Like, you could imagine that would actually be a scenario, and it would give reason to why she even has a bra on in the first place. Because how on earth would a barrel have found a bra, and why would it be wearing it? Was she wearing it before her sentience, or was she naked when she awoke from her sentience and found the bra after? There's all these potential scenarios we could build. Okay, so I think I've done all that. So yeah, so all I'm doing, guys, I'm squashing the barrel assets, currently Meryl's, by 1 pixel, because it just makes, honestly, the barrel's movement when it moves, it jumps, hops across the screen, it just looks much better having that extra pixel room. We did it with Carol a couple of weeks ago, so I'm doing it for the others now, considering I'm doing their character sheets and their sprites are going to be on their character sheets. It makes sense. Now for this facing one, it's a little bit more precise the way we've got to do it. So I'm just going to refer to my notes. I think this is the bit I've got to highlight, and I have to be very precise about it, because if I'm not, she'll look a mess. If I move the pixels in the wrong places, she would look very deformed. But doing it this way, moving them with the way I'm doing it now, it keeps her looking somewhat decent. She doesn't look squashed or like she's been in a car crash. So but yeah, this was basically the notes I made. You gotta do it, otherwise you'll forget. Like, I knew that I wasn't going to edit the barrel assets for potentially weeks to come, and I knew I'd forget, so I had to make those notes, and I'm very grateful for them now. How's the raindrop grind? Going up, hope to reach the requirements before it increases. Yeah, well, good luck, Jimmy. And if you don't, absolutely don't panic at all, because it might seem a bit daunting getting 1,000, but it's because of how long this project is. It's a very, you know, it's a years long project. This is it's only a matter of time before the regulars reach 1,000. But I believe in you. Was she nude before becoming a barrel? That's a real question. I know. I mean, why is it that the other barrels don't mind being nude, but for Meryl she has to cover up? But, you know, she's actually drawing more attention to herself by wearing a bra. And I think that's the point. She wants to stand out. And she wants to look pretty. And she likes the bra. She thinks it really makes her look stunning. She likes the colour pink. She's got the pink lippy on as well. She probably found the lipstick in somebody's room, in somebody's house, and looked in their mirror and thought, this will match nicely with my bra, and just put it on. It was like perfect. I wonder which poor NPC that was that she stole the lipstick of. Well, she might have just borrowed it. Can't accuse Meryl of being a thief. Raindrops. Was she a valley girl reincarnated as a barrel? Well, I say maybe, but in all honesty, she was literally just a barrel. Just a normal, boring barrel before she came to life. But it's funny that you mention, I like that you've mentioned humans and the fact that, because I have considered a potential plot line, well, a few of us have, it was mentioned in chat a while back, about the barrels becoming humans for a day or something. I don't know how that would come about, but I honestly would love to see these guys as humans, even if it was just temporarily. I think it would be quite amusing. Because the thing about the barrels is that they're very, very distinct features. All of them do. And if they were turned human, you would know it was them. I mean, you'd know it was Carol from them eyebrows. And Meryl has a distinctive look herself as well. And Woody. And Hank and Alvira, they all do. The only one that would look a bit odd as a human would be Oliver, because he has the typical cute, like, dotted eyes and little number 3 mouth. So he would look a bit strange as a human. He could be a cat or something, I suppose. Okay, so I think that's all done. I think I did them all. Yeah, so that can be saved now. Meryl has been done. So this is her default face. Her default sprite, should I say. So we'll bring this one onto the character sheet. Why have we still got Carol Barrel here? I thought put Meryl there. There we go. Okay, so she's gonna have a different goal, of course, and she's gonna have a different profile, completely different fears, different flaws. So we'll save this. I'm going to have a look at our sheet on what goals we have that could potentially fit Meryl. Need to Google the term Valley Girl, but I think I have an idea of what it is. Yeah, I wasn't too familiar with it either, being British, but yes, I think I have an idea. Is that some Final Fantasy IX background music, Jimmy says? I think it might be. I do have a Final Fantasy playlist on, so it's very likely, Jimmy. For sure. I don't have my earphones on right now. And hello guys, Sickle, how you doing? It's so good to see you. How are things going on your end? I hope your Wednesday is going well. Okay, so Meryl's goal. Let's just have a little peek at her bio, what we've got. So also the important thing to notice, which I completely forgot to say, is that Meryl is Carol's sister, by the way. And it's interesting saying that because they're not biological. These barrels weren't born like we are. They were born from a spell. So it's quite interesting how they've got this community, and she's become the sister, she's the grandma, and he's the son, etc. But I guess they were all brought to life, and yeah, the community formed, and that's how it is. They became a little family, and it is quite nice. So she's a flirty barrel who is passionately in love with a bad boy, Oil Drum. And there's been a bit of talk of what this Oil Drum could look like, and someone mentioned James Dean. Or some people have mentioned like your typical like greasy haired, like slicked back, wearing shades kind of cool guy. So there's a number of like different looks he could have, but I don't want him to look too similar to Woody, because Woody's kind of a smooth looking guy himself. But yeah, he'd have a different look to Woody for sure. There's a Frank Zappa song called Valley Girl. Is there? What a coincidence. Lovely to see you too. I've been lurking and learning After Effects. Oh, After Effects, that's fun. That is one program I've never ever learnt, but I've always been curious about. I bet he looks like an oil drum. Yeah, so Meryl she's someone who falls in love easily with the bad boys. She's flirty, and she is a Valley Girl. So let's find a good goal for Meryl, because this is all very exciting for me, because I haven't fleshed Meryl out to this extent. All I've done is give her that like personality, but in terms of goals and that, I'm like, oh, okay, this is something we need to do, but it has to be done, because Meryl needs a story too. She deserves to be a fleshed out character. So I'm going to just look through and think what could be the most fitting for her. I should probably let you guys actually see the pop-up, because unfortunately with my window capture, when I click drop down menus, you can't see it. So I'm having to get up the actual display capture instead. Right. Is there any about love or being popular? To see the world's an interesting one, especially for a barrel, but I don't know if that would be the best for Meryl. It would fit more with, well, to live dangerously would be perfect for an oil drum boyfriend. To entertain, delight others, that would be for Woody, I'd say. To gain the approval of somebody is an interesting one. For a character like Meryl, that would fit, because it seems like she's very much about being validated and accepted by this oil drum, and would probably look to please him a lot, even at the expense of her own family's happiness. So I look out of all these, probably that one. Right, I'm also going to check something, because I remember having some notes on Meryl and Axel, who is the oil drum. So I'm going to get those up, because some interesting things were said in chat about them at one point. Got so many notepad files that could be anywhere. Okay, so somebody said, I think this was Vandella actually, he said, I think that the oil drum is, let's just get Meryl's character sheet up instead of this actually, while I read this. Someone says, I think that the oil drum is probably more rugged. Maybe is the leather jacket sort of guy. He's probably more fun to be around because he's a whole lot of trouble. Maybe Meryl thinks she can change Mr. Oil Drum, but he's just not ready to commit to that sort of change. Maybe Oil Drum is also the type of guy that will dive in first to protect Meryl, and she misinterprets that as love when it is just a strong drive to be a rebel hero. What a good insight. I really like that. And someone said about Carol, romancing Carol. If the player romances Carol, it would be interesting to explore the idea of, should Carol try to become human? It could be a powerful message, her exploring her feelings and sense of self and deciding she's happy with who she is, and that she shouldn't have to change who she is for a man or a woman, because if you're a male or female custom hero, you will still be able to romance Carol. Carol's she's a bisexual or pansexual, I guess. She's exploring her. She's very new to the world. She's only just been brought to life, to sentience. So, you know what I mean? When it comes to love, I think although she's very narrow-minded at the start of the game and hates humans, I think overall she would love whoever loved her in the end. Also, have we got any more interesting notes? Someone says Axel, the oil drum, should want to start a rock band, but he has no fingers, which is tragic because obviously, if an oil drum wouldn't have fingers, and if he wanted to be in a rock band, what would he do? Poor guy. I think that might be in it with the notes. Yeah, so for the old drum we got sunglasses, beard, stubble and classic grease. The look is kind of what people picture him to be. So we don't have a visual look for the oil drum yet because he's not in the game, he's just talked about, but in the future I'm sure we will. Right, so I think judging by that particular paragraph, which I 100% am on board with, and I love that perspective about him being a whole lot of trouble, this oil drum, and Meryl thinking she can change him, but he's not ready to commit to the change, and the oil drum loves danger. He'll dive in first to protect Meryl, and Meryl interprets that as love when really it's just a strong drive to be a rebel hero. So Meryl, she wants to be loved. She likes to feel desired and wanted, and she's very different to Carol because Carol doesn't give any indication of wanting that at all. She's very hostile, but she does want it secretly. She just would never tell. So I'm thinking, yeah, we should probably go for that goal for Meryl. Well, either to find love, but she's got it. She already believes she's got it with the oil drum, so I don't know about to find love as being her goal. But to gain the approval of somebody, to a certain extent maybe, because she's wanting that validation from Axel, but I think she already believes she's got it. I think she already would believe she has that approval from him. So I'm not sure if any of those particular goals fit Meryl. I think we could come up with a different one. It could be something as simple as to live a happy life with my love. How would we put that as a goal without it sounding super silly, cheesy? List of goals. NPCs. So I'm on a D100 thing, a D&D rolling goal thing, because I always find these really good inspiration, if I'm honest, for our project too. So maybe we could take, I might add some more of these goals to the character sheets, guys, the character forms, some more, because we could, like, there's literally dozens of potential goals out there. Fear of disappointing her sweetheart, that kind of could work for Meryl, but that's a fear, not a goal. That would be there as her fear for sure. Yeah, I'm honestly, what I'm thinking is this. Literally just, she's simple. She just wants to be with Axel. That's all she lives for. She's happy with that, nothing else. And I think that's it's quite an interesting character. She's codependent. That's what she is. Potential interesting story, character arc and themes to explore here. Maybe help her sister achieve her goal. Yeah, well, Carol's goal is to find Meryl and all the others, you know, so until these guys would have separate goals from Carol because they're not with her right now because they're apart. And honestly, Meryl's pretty selfish. She and Carol, they kind of argue a lot. They don't really get on, but I suppose deep down there's still a bond there because they've grown up together in the short life they've had. So I need to read. Oh, that's totally fine. Forgotten. It's to be expected. Right now, the next story so far video needs to be released so you guys can see those cutscenes. To find true love. Yeah, that's a good one. But I suppose, like, she kind of believes she's got it with Axel. Well, she does believe it. She's in a codependent relationship where she thinks she's got the man of her dreams and he's perfect, and she secretly wants to change him and stop him being a bad boy so he can settle down with her and make babies. Well, whether barrels can have children is that even possible? We don't know. But you know, she thinks she's got her man, but it might be a bit of a toxic relationship, but it also might not be. It might be a beautiful relationship, really. Maybe that'll be the twist. Maybe it'll subvert our expectations. But yeah, so that was kind of what I was on the same thing as you, Alice. I was thinking she wants true love, and I think that was one on our character form list, but she thinks she's got it. She thinks she's got the true love. So what she wants now is just to be with her love and live a life with him. She is happy just being with him. Nothing else drives her as long as she's with Axel. And that's why ultimately having that as a goal makes me think she's codependent, which as a character I think that's an interesting character to have. And like potentially, you know, build a story arc from that. What does a barrel and an oil drum make, though I can? Well, Alvira, who is the grandmother of Meryl and Carol, calls them mongrels. She's like, you know, she doesn't approve with the relationship between Meryl and the oil drum because she says you'll make mongrels if you're with him, and it's very racist. Pretty racist, but Alvira's a very old-fashioned lady. She's a sassy one as well. She's pretty sassy. She's a boomer, yeah. She's a boomer. Exactly. Couldn't put it better myself. That is what she is. What the children between a wooden barrel and all. I think they might quite look quite awesome. A barrel and oil drum child, but Alvira doesn't think so. The barrels, their relationship and their abilities are a bit mysterious now. Oh yeah, for sure. And it's all very interesting because they talk about each other like Oliver's my son, and you know, talk about it as if they're all biologically related, but they're not. They're not biologically related because they were all just brought to life from a spell, but that doesn't mean they're not a family. They can still be a family together, and I think that's an interesting concept to explore as well, like being a family that aren't biologically related but having this bond together because they've just spent time together. Barrel edition. Okay guys, so now we're going to fill in the emotional disposition etc for Meryl. So she is our absolutely loves to be in love kind of character. She's a bit codependent, but I'm very interested in this one, and I would like Meryl to grow over the course of the game, and figure out things about herself, and maybe Axel can figure out things about himself too. Maybe it'll grow to be something really nice between them, or maybe it'll grow to be something dreadful and a terrible relationship, but who knows? Who knows how it'll all end. They have genuine feelings towards each other. Yeah, they do, and I like it. I think it's sweet, and I'm very attached to the Barrel characters, guys. I am. All of them. Right, so emotional disposition, we've got angry. Well, Carol's the angry one. So we've got anxious, apathetic, calm, curious, excited, joyful, and melancholy. So for Meryl, it's excited or joyful in my opinion. She's not a calm Barrel, and she's not apathetic, or she could be anxious, because sometimes, you know, but I'm not sure whether anxious would be her main disposition. I'm kind of thinking excited would be, because she's quite a peppy one. She's quite a peppy character. She speaks a lot. She's enthusiastic and sort of brings life to the room kind of person. So I'm thinking excited for Meryl, because we built a cutscene on these guys. I actually want to get it up for you. I want to at least give you the command. Is it episode? I think this might be it, because some of you here haven't really, you know, you haven't spent time with the Barrel characters, and you probably know little about the scene we did. But there was a scene we did with the Barrels, and we got to know them a little bit in that. So I'm going to see what the command was. I might not have it anymore. Yeah, I think I deleted the command, and it's going to take a while to set up again. So you guys will have to wait for the scene. I am planning on getting it released, the scene, and put in the Discord. It's definitely gonna be before the end of May. Both cutscenes, the fruit one and the Barrel one, will be done before the end of May. They need to be for the story so far video. So you guys will see it then, what we did. And there'll be lots of more future scenes with them too, I'm sure. What's that emote doing? Yeah, taking a sip. Okay, so excited, and there's optimistic, probably. She's the optimistic version of Carol. The optimistic sister, should I say. Thought you were flipping me off. LOL. I don't know why I'm saying LOL out loud. Sometimes I do. She'd be honest as well. She is also would be spontaneous. and reckless. I think she'd be more open-minded than Carol, though. You know, she's clearly open-minded. Meryl is because she's in a relationship with an oil drum. She's talkative and rebellious as well. So really, her and Carol are kind of similar. They do share similar traits. The one thing that separates them is that Carol's angry and more negative and more narrow-minded, whereas Meryl is more optimistic and open-minded and less angry. She's excited more. So, but a lot of the other things, like how talkative they are and how rebellious and spontaneous are, is pretty similar. But we've got Hank and Elvira to do next, and those two are more reserved for sure. Out the barrels, the older ones. Sex and the City Barrel Edition, the first DLC of the game, where the barrels are such a major part of this. Oh, they are, like, they are the, like, Carol's quest. Carol is the main character of Raindrop Chronicles, right, guys? I think we all know that. Not including Gus as the protagonist here, but I honestly see the hero who we play as someone that's more of an observer rather than an actual character. So Carol really is the main character, and the main character's goal is to find her family, and this is the family, Meryl and the others that we're going to do. So that tells you how key they are. They're basically the whole point of the whole game. Barrel outfits DLC, yeah. I want to know what Kung's imagining for this barrel edition, Sex in the City, because I've never seen that show, so I'm like, oh, what's that going to be about? I want to know now. I want to imagine it. And barrel outfits DLC. I want to cosplay as the barrels. Probably, I don't know about Meryl though, I'd be banned on Twitch. For cosplayed as Meryl, but I'd cosplay as Carol. For sure. Okay, so biggest flaw for Meryl would be that she's codependent. Okay, so let's get the profile. So Flirty Barrel is passionately in love with a bad boy oil drum. I'm codependent of how we gonna work this? I'm too codependent on Axel, a bad boy oil drum who is the love of my life. Does that work? I'll have to split that down a bit though. I was hoping I'd get it on one line so I wouldn't have to do any resizing. Also, where is that banner gone? There. I was like, where's that? I'm actually going to name that layer. My layers are a mess at the moment. I'm making you a barrel costume, remember? Oh my goodness, Alice. And I thought that was just a joke. My goodness, you're going to get my hopes up. My heart is going to explode with joy at the thought. Kia, this is the Final Fantasy XI Moghouse theme. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, this is a pretty one. They're all really pretty tracks. This has been our playlist for ages now. Can't see me changing it, you know, unless I have to or something. Unless I'm desperate for a change one day. Okay, so let's see if I can shorten this a bit. I'm too is codependent spelled like that, or is there a dash? No, spell it wrong. I put an A instead of an E. I'm too codependent on the love. I want to make sure that sentence actually makes sense. Yeah, I think it's fine. I'm too codependent on a live Axel, a bad boy or a drum. Yeah, so I fit that on one line and that was the goal. So what is your biggest fear? Now, I kind of have had an idea of this one. So her fear would be disappointing Axel and losing him. Fear disappointing Axel and losing him. But yeah, I'm quite I'm quite fond of like giving the barrels their own little arc themselves, you know, their own little story. Being just an extension of Carol, it wouldn't be enough for me. I want them to shine as well. FF makes great tunes, it does, for sure. Top tier music. So anything else you'd like to tell us? Now, I'm not sure about this one with Meryl. But anything else at all? So, I'm going to just look through the dialogue quickly of that scene. Here it is. This was the scene I was going to let you guys see. I was going to give you a command. We can look at it here. So, I'm going to see if there's anything about Meryl that stands out. I've got an idea. Now this is a really random one, but it makes sense. I plan on leaving behind my family to be with Axel. Because Meryl knows that her grandmother and none of the others really, Woody and Carol make digs at Axel as well. So Meryl knows that Axel will never be approved into the family ever. Elvira has too much of an influence. So I think I plan to leave my family behind will make sense here. So she, you know, it works that she's planning to run away to be with Axel. I plan to leave behind my family to be with Axel. Yeah. Sex and the City is about 4 female friends living in New York and follows their life and the relationship between them and the men they meet. Oh yeah, that makes sense for sure. But I want to hear like a summary as well of how this would work for the barrels, because it sounds brilliant. Like it should be a spin-off. You know, guys, I'd totally be cool and excited if anyone made a spin-off with these characters. Some sort of, yeah, I'd love that. I'd be so hyped. Okay, so I plan to leave my family behind to be with Axel. Yeah, that's fine. So I think that is it. That is perfect for Meryl. So I'm going to get her character sheet saved as well. PNG. And yes, I might tidy things up a bit. I'm not 100% in love with a couple of elements of this character sheet. Mainly, I think the background's a little bit blue still. So certain things I might alter just a touch. But it's all about getting the content in first. We want to get that content in. So who is next? Who have we got now? Elvira. It's Elvira time. So I'm going to copy. And in fact, I'm very willing to be very messy doing the next 4 because I want to get Elvira, Hank, Woody and Oliver done before the end of stream. So I might just really make the character sheet look a mess so we can get them done fast. Because, you know, it's fun and I want you guys to see them. I want them to be shown off. So let's get Elvira's face. So here is the grandma, here is the boomer. She's the boomer that we've all been talking about. She does not approve of the relationship between Meryl and the bad boy Aldrum. So I'm kind of tempted to delete this text at the top, by the way, because I think it worked for the community characters, but I'm not sure if it works for the non-community characters. With that, it looks a little bit lost, but we'll see. I'm going to have a mess around after, so we'll have that question mark for now, but we need Elvira's sprite in as well, so we've got to do the same thing again with Elvira that we did with Meryl. We need to squash a barrel up a bit. So here's Elvira. Hello, how are you? Hi Gamer Honey, how are you doing? What is this RPG? Raindrop Chronicles. Yes, this is Raindrop Chronicles, Gamer, and we have, I'm going to give you a couple of our commands in chat. Some of our most important ones anyway. We've got a website to look at. We've got YouTube channel with all the, you know, important video related info such as streams, stories so far, a lore video, And so feel free to have a little browse and feel free to ask any questions if you wish. Goal to keep races pure. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of unnecessary racism in this world. You know, what fantasy world doesn't have it? And it's always an interesting theme to explore because it's just so like something that even our world still experiences. And people's eyes need to be opened as well, and storytelling is always a chance to do that. Right, so where are we? We'll do this one first. So we just need to squash her by a pixel. The shocked faces make me want to laugh. If anyone's curious why the barrels are so shocked in some of these sprites, it's because there was a cart hijacking scene, and that's why she looks shocked. It was a real challenge, you know, to do that cart scene, I have to say, but I pulled it off, and I'm excited to like officially release that scene when it's tidied up a bit more. I'm actually learning Python at the moment, but I'm an absolute beginner. Oh, awesome! Well, GG on starting out, and you know, that's absolutely awesome. I wish you the best of luck. Second DLC. Barrel. You guys talk about the barrels as if they're only going to be in DLCs. They're the whole thing. They are everything. But I'm not going to complain about them being in DLCs either. I say the more barrel, the better. I'm obsessed with the barrels. You know, guys, do you want to know what my dream is? To release a line of plushies of these barrels. That is what I'd love that. But it's actually pretty expensive to get custom made plushes, you know. But I think that would be pretty cool. I'd buy them all. Yeah, I did all that, so I just... So yeah, I wish I didn't have to do this little bit of sprite work because I want to get on with the character sheets, but it has to be done considering we're putting them on the sprite sheets. And I know we're only putting the face in front one on, so I don't necessarily need to do this one, but you know, it makes sense that I do them now, I suppose. Otherwise, I could forget what I've done and what I haven't done. And it's only like taking a few minutes, so it's not like it's taking forever. And to think it started with a typo, I know. I wonder what Silent and Lost would think if he popped in now and saw what it's come to. And I'm pretty sure he did. I remember he sent me a message about the website and was like, wow, it looks amazing. So I think he did see all the other barrels. Because he was the person who really created Carol and brought her to existence. because of his typo. Be funny if I'm ever interviewed by anyone and they're like, so how did Carol the Barrel, how did she come to be? I'll be like, oh, it was from a typo. A possible barrel village. Yes, somebody that was mentioned, unsurprisingly, because barrel village sounds so cool. So why wouldn't it be? You know, it's actually been mentioned before, and it's, you know, I wouldn't say no. I mean, the one thing about this spell that's brought the barrels to life is that it's only affected, as far as we believe, it's only affected the barrels within the radius, a small radius, but it is actually a global, it does actually potentially have a global effect, so who knows what else has been brought out to life out there. We put up a poll recently about that, about whether the spell should have a bigger impact on the world, and it just gives us the flexibility of potentially introducing more sentient object characters of all kinds if we wish. I mean, it doesn't mean we have to go like absurd with it and make everything a sentient object in the game, of course not. But it just allows us that opportunity to, if there's a summit that could be cool. But I was just imagining people getting tattoos of the barrels in a few years. Just imagine that. I would scream, enjoy, if that happened. From what I remember, the Rose was supposed to write something else, but the sentient barrel, and off we are. Yeah, the Rose. I'm the Rose. That's it. It's my title now. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. I'm very glad. Very satisfied. Okay, I think I've done it all, or maybe not. Yeah, damn, this one pixel squishing business takes the mickey a little bit, but we'll have a better looking barrel for it. And the good thing is, when it's getting squished, this barrel right now, it doesn't look too bad. Like, there's not much difference between this and how it originally looked. But it's just so important that it's done, because this way their hop will look better. Because there's not enough space for them to hop with how big it is originally. And you wouldn't think what 1 pixel would make a difference, but it honestly, it does. Makes all the difference. Okay, that's done. And I think I might have to, there's a few little bits where some pixels are sticking out that shouldn't be, but I can always tidy those up another time. So now this is Alvira's default, I think. So save that. Okay, so Alvira's goal and personality and flaws and fears now. Let's fill her in. Let's make her awesome. I already know what her flaw is. Boomer. That's Alvira's flaw. She's a boomer. Sorry, boomers. Didn't mean to offend. I I think I said Meryl's in the wrong place. I did. Right, just drag it here. There we go, fixed. Okay, so now this is interesting. So Elvira is a prudish barrel who insists she's an antique barrel. And that hasn't been revealed about her yet. We've not had any discussion about her being an antique barrel. It was just something somebody thought would be a nice little touch with Elvira. But it hasn't kind of been developed yet, as of yet. But we do know she's a prude. She's racist, and she is a bit controlling of her granddaughters. But she does have a very nice, like, relationship with Hank. She likes Hank. There's a little, like, affectionate moment between them, but a very subtle affectionate moment in the flashback scene. And she doesn't like Woody. She thinks he's a mongrel. You know, poor Woody. It's uncalled for. Woody's the coolest. Hi Rex, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Hope you're having a good. I was going to say Monday, but it's Wednesday. This is what the barrels do to me. They make me forget the day. Of course, I was brought to life as an old lady. I'd be hating everything too. Yeah, but at least she has that little, you know, cigarette. She has the smoke, so she gets some joy at least. But yeah, she's sassy. She's not all bad. I want to make her so sassy that you gotta love her kind of character. So she's gonna have her pros that make her cons not seem as bad. And to be honest, maybe she has a point for not liking Axel, in all honesty. He is a bad boy, but I feel like she likes him for all the wrong reasons. I mean, dislikes him for the wrong reasons. She just dislikes him because he's an oil drum. But really, she should be disliking him because he's a bad boy and bad influence to Meryl. But still, that's Meryl's decision. Even so, maybe there's more to Axel. Maybe he really does truly love Meryl and he's perfect for her. Okay, so now with that little talk about Elvira, I think it's the right time to have a look at some potential goals for Elvira now. So it's a difficult one because we've developed Carol so much that it's so easy to just see these barrels as an extension of Carol and not have their own little stories themselves, but we have to make sure they do because they're important too. And Meryl's was quite straightforward, her goal, because she's all about Axel. Axel this, Axel that. So basing Meryl's goal around Axel was a pretty easy one. But Elvira, what on earth would her goal be? She's a prude. She does think she's an ancient barrel. She thinks she's an antique barrel. She thinks she's a bit special then, doesn't she? She's a bit of a snob. Maybe there could be a goal that's a bit focused around that. So forget that, we consider pop-ups now. Hello aggro, PogChamp. No, oil drum is good enough for my granddaughter. Her goal could be to prove her antiquity. Yeah, let's have a look at what we got and see if there's anything that fits first of all. Something like that might be quite general, but if we want to get specific, that's okay, but we'll have a look because there could be something that like triggers some amazing ideas for Elvira if we have a look through this. So I'm going to pick out the ones I feel are most appropriate to Elvira. So to exalt your honourable ideas to others could be possible. She's pretty prude. She wants the rest of the family to be like that too. To be respected and admired. You know, if it's all about being this antique barrel and this sort of snobby, very that kind of thing she's got going, then it would make sense that she wants to be respected and admired. To become rich. Yeah, so I'm thinking it would be one of those, like the respected and admired, or the honourable ideals fit more with her than any of the others, I think. What it be? She wants to do something worthy of her esteemed image. That's a good one too. To do something worthy. That could be a good goal. To shorten it. Make it short and sweet, to do something worthy. And let's just define the word worthy. I mean, we all know what worthy means, but sometimes it's nice to just get a proper definition up. So, having or showing the qualities that deserve the specified action or goal, characterized by good intent but lacking in humour and imagination. A person notable or important to us. Yeah, so that's basically it. She wants to be like seen as special. So to have to do something worthy, or to be seen as worthy even, because it might not be doing something worthy that is important, because Elvira could already see herself as worthy. She sees herself as this antique barrel. So she thinks, no, I'm already special. I don't have to do anything. I'm worthy as I am, you know. But she wants to be seen as it, because she isn't getting the respect she deserves. But this is where we get in the respect thing coming again, and that's where I'm like, maybe we want to be a little bit more general about it and say to be respected and admired as the goal. To be seen as worthy is very similar to that anyway in wording. And go away, junk mail. In spam. Mars Day, you're here all the time and I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, Mars is awesome. Mars has been really helpful and comes up with some really very insightful points about that to consider about things, and I like that. The Chronicles are wonderful and the community is great. I'm glad to be part of it. Thank you for saying that. Well, we appreciate you, National. Maybe she wants to get her granddaughter up there as well. Yeah, I feel like it's not about... I mean, she definitely wants to be respected and admired, but she kind of wants the whole family to be, you know, have this good image, you know. Otherwise, she wouldn't care so much about not having mongrels in the family, and Meryl, you know, being with an oil drum. So it's not just about her. Elvira's not really all about her. She's a bit controlling of the whole family in general. So yeah, she's a hard one to sum up. And if we say to be respected and admired as her goal, that could be them overall, you know. When we say to be respected and admired, she means her and her fellow barrels to be respected and admired. But she could like ultimately primarily mean herself, but she also, you know, it's also something she'd want the others to have as well, respect from others. And she certainly would feel like if Meryl was with an oil drum that she wouldn't be respected. It's not true. It's a very flawed way of thinking, but That's what Elvira thinks in her own head. So I'm going to get this up again. But look at her. Look at those gold, like, rings. She must be antique. These characters are so creative. They are, like, I'm really happy with them because they're just, well, they were kind of, like, I originally built them, like, you know, I know that I used some of the features from the generator, but the actual characterization and the overall design was created by not just me, but all of us. And we came up with some really, like, awesome, like, really distinct personalities here, and I'm really proud. So, I mean, it, you know, we had that stream where we just was like, so what, anyone got any barrel ideas for other barrel types? And everybody just listed off different types. And that's why we have a barrel with a bra, because it got suggested in chat. And that's why we have Elvira looking how she does as well. Do we have an uptight flower pot or a decorated tin as a more suitable alternative to the oil drum? Oh, you mean if we bring in another character? I definitely want to keep it open for more possible sentient characters in the game. And the fact that we've confirmed that the spell that affected these barrels is actually is global means that we have the option, where even when we're in other regions, to create things that are sentient that shouldn't be. And it just, you know, that there's room for that, for us to do that if there's a part for them in the story. And I'm going to make a note of it, of course, national, because if it ever comes to that, if we ever want to expand on the non-sentient, well, the sentient object cast, then it'd be nice to refer to notes that you guys and ideas you've had. Down the line, oil could be proven as a rare resource and her viewpoint make a 180. That would be funny to say. Yeah, that's quite an interesting point as well, Forgotten, because, you know, I do like turning things on, turning expectation, like subverting them and doing what people don't expect. Obviously, if it's done well, of course, not for the sake of it, no, but when it's going to be powerful and make you think differently, then I like it then. When it makes you, you know, something you can be like, oh wow, that's, and then think about for days. And I feel like Axel right now is being built to be this sort of real bad boy, toxic, like bad influence kind of character. That's kind of what we're building so far, and the fact that Elvira doesn't approve of him, and the fact that Meryl is very codependent on him, and that is unhealthy for her. It's kind of making Axel look bad. But I would like it if, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if things took a turn and Axel was actually a sort of hero, I would sort of like that in a weird way. If something happened, even if he just had a moment where he shines just for a short period of time, that would still be nice. You know, I'm a bad influence. You can base him off me. Oh, am I Meryl and you're Axel, Careless Rex? Are these the symbolic of us? Oh my goodness. How I make her take her bra off? Oh, well, Meryl is not a romanceable option in the game, unfortunately. She is in love with another NPC, so you won't be able to do that big. Carol, however, she is romanceable, and, you know, you'll probably have a kissy time with Carol if you wished, eventually. It's not going to be easy, though. going to be a challenge. Carol's not an easy one to win over. Oh boy, here we go. Be like seeing a household puppy without its collar on. There's nothing wrong with it, but it sure looks odd. Yeah, I honestly, I'm going to just be honest, guys. I cannot imagine Meryl without the bra on. It would just, like, honestly, national, how you describe it is perfect. Like, I couldn't have put it better myself. And, yeah, could I wear a bunny outfit? She wouldn't want that big. She's committed to another man. She'd do it for Axel though, but not for you. She loves Axel. Okay, so where were we? Oh, we're on Alvira's sheet. Well, I've still got Meryl up. So I've thought, yes, but respected and admired girl. That to be seen as worthy was also a good one, but it is very much the same as to be respected and admired, and that is kind of an official one on our character sheet. So let's fill in her personality now. So emotional disposition, we've got angry. Carol had that. Excited, Meryl had that. We've also got anxious, apathetic, calm, curious, excited, and melancholy. Well, Hank's going to have melancholy, for sure. And Oliver's going to have curious, because Oliver's the young little boy that wants to find out more about the world. And in the flashback scene, all Oliver ever does is ask questions, so he's curious. I see Elvira as calm. I don't see her as apathetic, because apathetic is indifferent, and there's no way she's indifferent. She cares too much about appearances and, you know, what her family do. So I'd say calm, because she definitely has a calm manner about her, even though she's a bit of a racist. She's calm the way she talks. She doesn't hop about much or get too excited like Meryl and Carol do. It would look exactly like a barrel. Yeah, if you took the bra off, she'd just look like a barrel. She'd look like Carol, except with Meryl's face. Rex is right. Rejected by a barrel feels bad, man. No room in her heart for a different man. It's respectable. Yeah, and I think that's the one thing I like about Meryl as well. She gives this impression of being a bit shallow, perhaps, and like we say, the Valley Girl trope. But she is, at heart, she is loyal. She is like very loyal to Axel, and I admire that about her in a way. I mean, I know it's a little bit unhealthy, but it might not be unhealthy. It might just be genuinely two people who are in love, and I've got as a flaw that she's codependent, and on the surface it might seem like that, but their relationship could be perfect for all we know. I mean, perfect is pushing it a bit. There's flaws in everything, and he is a bit of a bad boy for sure, but you know, maybe it's a lot sweeter and less toxic than we think with them. I'd like that. You know, I would like it if Meryl and Axel were the ultimate love story of Raindrop Chronicles. So I wouldn't say no to that if that ended up being the thing. Not knowing what's behind it makes it fun. Maybe she's got something, maybe she's smuggling something you wouldn't ever expect. Imagine if we think that Meryl's this really sweet girl who just wants to be with her man, but she's smuggling something, and this object that people like want, and it's like this huge deal. And imagine that. No one would ever expect it, that. No one would expect something to, you know, be hidden behind the bra like that either. I love the depth of these characters you're creating. Brilliant. Oh, thank you so much, Green. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good Wednesday. And yeah, we're all having a blast, aren't we? And I'm actually really glad that we've had a stream where we're talking about these this group of characters again, because it's been weeks since we've seen them, and I always feel that when we do talk about them, it's always like really fun. It just shows how special they are as characters, and even when we stop talking them for a while to focus on other things, you know, we easily get back into it once we talk about them again. I thought, oh, someone drew you know what under there, and then I thought it's covering up bits of Heartwood and she's self-conscious about it, and now the smuggling idea. I know. Like, what I like about this project, guys, is that we don't, anything's possible, you know, like we keep it pretty open about what could happen. So, you know, that, who knows? Who knows is my phrase now. But I do like the idea of, I like the idea of the fact that two kids pulled a prank and put their mom's bra on a barrel for fun when back in the days when Meryl wasn't sentient. But at the same time, the antagonist that put the spell on the barrels, he would have seen that one was wearing a bra, and be like, what the hell? Why has this one got a bra on it? So maybe the bra got put on after the spell was cast, because there was this waiting period. Like, the barrels don't come to life immediately after the spell was put on them. It takes months for the sentience to kick in. So I'm imagining that if someone did put the bra on the barrel, it was in between that time period, for sure. And I'll put the little video in so people know what I'm referring to. Is there a barrel wearing a Speedo? What's a Speedo? What's a Speedo? Is that an American thing? Maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm just silly and don't know. A bra roll. Oh my goodness, that's a good pun. My goodness, I feel like someone has to say that in dialogue at some point to take the mickey out of them. So I'm saving that. I like that one, Green. Alright, so where were we? We're filling in a personality. We've still got Meryl's filled in, and we're gonna overwrite that with Alvira. So would she be pessimistic, guys? I suppose she would. She is pessimistic. How can you not be pessimistic if you're judgmental like that? And having all these bad words to say about other types of objects that aren't barrels. Okay, and integrity would be honest, of course. Controlled would be her. Boldness would be cautious. So Meryl and Carol are reckless and spontaneous, but Elvira is cautious and controlled. And I imagine Han could be similar. And of course she is narrow-minded. You cannot get any more narrow-minded than Elvira. She would be reserved. I mean, she talks, there's no doubt about that, but her overall manner is more reserved. More introverted, for sure. Conformity would be obviously traditional. That isn't even a question. She is traditional. The pure example of traditional. So, are you guys in agreement here with Elvira's profile? But, okay, so now flaws and fears. So, to me, her flaw is that she is racist. But would it be called racism if it's in regards to object racism? Xenophobic, would that be a better term? I don't know. Because that's still, yeah, xenophobic, irrational fear of foreigners or anything foreign. I suppose it would be xenophobia, unless there's another word you guys think would really sum up Alvira's flaw best. Yes, I agree. What do you agree with, Rex? Oh my goodness, I forgot what I said that you might have agreed with. I love the FF7 BG music always. FF7 has amazing music. I agree. She objectifies others, yeah, and she stereotypes. It's all of it. I guess it just think she's judgmental, controlling, xenophobic, and snobby. I guess those would be the words to sum her up. It's funny saying I'm xenophobic, like no one ever admits these things. But because the sheet's written in first person, that's kind of how it is. But I'm going to just check something. So I'm just going to remind you guys that I have updated the character sheets. I put everybody's names of their characters now, so if anyone didn't know, it looks so much better now. And the new ones, Carol and the Barrels and the Fruits and Fiona and Nigel Buckington will be in here as well as all the other fall NPCs when we develop them as well. So keep an eye out because it will be updated. She just doesn't like plebs. You said, are we all in agreement with Alvira's couches? Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm just checking a couple of character sheets, and I'm thinking for Alvira's, I'm not going to put I'm in front. I'm going to just name the bad flaws she's got, because nobody ever admits they're racist. I mean, some might, but a lot of people don't. They're like, I'm not racist. It's like, yeah, you are. Okay, so xenophobic. I mean, I'm thinking, is that the best term to use? I mean, I think it is, but maybe people disagree. Judgmental, controlling, and snobby. I don't know about the word snobby. I don't know if there's a better word than that. Well, I don't know if there would be. I mean, condescending, patronising, that could fit too. There's a lot of flaws with Alvira, folks. It's making me feel like we need to give us some really strong character development to make her likeable, you know. Because how will anyone like someone who's like that? I mean, does anyone here like Alvira? Is anyone like a fan of Alvira? Because if you are, I'd love to know why. And if you're not, we have to think of how to make her at least a bit sympathetic and likeable to some extent. I'm not racist, but found a goal for Axel to be remembered for his actions. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. And there was one was to live dangerously as well, which could have fit for Axel, and it kind of really, to live dangerously contrasts with Meryl, because Meryl actually just wants to be with her love and live peacefully. So it's like, oh dear, not compatible. But so I kind of like both. I like yours as well, Forgotten, the To Be Remembered. It's a little bit less extreme. So if we don't want to make Axel too extreme, then we could totally go for that one. I'm lurking and listening. Hi, Zephyrus, how you doing? Pompous, that's a good word as well. I like her as a character idea, but she's a terrible person. Yeah, I mean, she's very fond of Hank. She's fond of her hubby. And she likes Oliver as well. Like, she does care about her family. She loves her family, just in a bit of a messed up way. And what is your biggest fear? Mongrels. Because I'll get the actual dialogue line up, folks. Let me get the dialogue line up. So we actually have a bit of an understanding here. So Elvira's like, are you still seeing that rusty oil drum, Meryl? When are you going to break up with that waste of space? His name is Axel and he's not rusty. He has the most impressive and bulging physique I've... And Woody's like, oh no, I'm the stud here, not Axel. And then Elvira's like, Woody, my granddaughters are not interested in you. And then she's like, boxes, oil drums, you'd make mongrels with my granddaughters. And Oliver's like, what's the mongrel? So yeah, that's just a little bit of a preview on Elvira's fear, mongrels. But I feel like we need to be a bit more specific about it, because people are just like, what? Aggro, oh my goodness, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Jimmy. That is so awesome of you. Thank you for the gift sub. I appreciate that, Aggro, because I can see that you know that Jim wants to get those raindrops. He wants the raindrops, understandably so. So now, Jimmy, you get double raindrops in chat. So I hope you enjoy those, and you'll get those raindrops racked in. So let's have some hype in chat. I appreciate so much the generosity, Aggro, and for being kind to the community. I see you all the time in here checking your raindrops. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you for the hype, guys. Thank you so much. Let's read back chat. So her honesty could be why she's good. Like, she does have integrity, and she cares about her family. Just her bad traits kind of just make that not enough, you know. And she seems nice, Nashel says. She seems family orientated. She doesn't like one person, and that's based on the trajectory that her granddaughter is headed towards while being with him. Yeah, and maybe to us it seems like she doesn't like him just because he's an oil drum, but maybe she doesn't like him for multiple reasons, like how dangerous he is and how much he's putting her granddaughter's life at stake with his risky attitude to life. And she wants her daughter to find someone she can settle down with and, be happy with, not someone who's going to not commit and be having a very unsettled life with. Work is decent today. Yeah, I'm glad it's decent. I'm super glad to hear that. You deserve to have peaceful mornings, Rex. But I've saved what you've said about Elvira as well, National, because I don't just save ideas that you guys give. I like to save your insights and thoughts on the characters as well, because I can refer to it and think, okay, yeah, thank you for the hype as well, Moon Shadow. I didn't know that the raindrops would double. Yes, guys, I don't talk about it much. I don't often say, oh, by the way, guys, the rain, you get double if you sub, because I feel like that makes, I think that's a bit, it doesn't line up with my ethics to be saying stuff that's like that, and I don't want to force you guys to sub for double raindrops. I think that would be quite manipulative to do that. So I leave it up to you. If somebody wants to sub and wants to get double raindrops, then that's brilliant. But I wouldn't want to force anybody either, so that's why I don't mention it much. But yes, it's true. You do get double raindrops. That back blushy is so cute. Yeah, Rex got this custom made for me. So it's super cute, isn't it? It's perfect mascot for the stream. Perfect. He's adorable. He's my fave. Welcome to the sub club, Aggro. Thanks. Been lurking like a pro today. Thank you for lurking like a pro, Moon. And I love my lurkers. I'll just be saying I'm not like those streamers that don't. Can you believe it? The streamers out there that don't like lurkers. What is wrong with them? What is wrong with them? Well, that's an awesome job you done. It is. He knew exactly what to do to get the perfect bat, didn't he? I guess she seems afraid of uncertainty, of identity, or things that might break up the family structure. Like she might be thinking that if they're not all barrels, then they might not stay together when they would have. That's a very good way to see it too, Matt. And welcome, by the way, Matt. I'm going to say what you've said as well. And I honestly, I really like this, because we can look back on these things whenever we need to as well, about Elvira, because I want to make Elvira a good character, you know. I want her to be just as likeable as the other barrels. And I know with a character like this it's a challenge because they aren't usually likeable, but I always like to make characters layered, and even the most terrible of humans, I like them to have something about them that's admirable. For example, Cersei in Game of Thrones is an example. She was a terrible person, but she had qualities about her that made me really like her as a character, even though she was a terrible person. So I love to do something like that with Elvira too. But yes, I think what National and Met say, like, about the family thing, like, she cares deeply about family, and she it's a fear for her. She's like, if there's mongrels in this family, then, you know, it's going to ruin everything. And there's an added layer of complexity as well, because the barrels aren't even a biological race, so they don't work the same way that humanoids or even the beast races do. They can't reproduce. So does it really matter, Elvira? I mean, maybe they can reproduce. This is something we haven't fleshed out, but realistically they wouldn't be able to reproduce if they were brought to life from a spell and they were just objects before that weren't sentient. Like, how would it be possible for such things to reproduce? Maybe in their heads they think they can, and they think they're just like humans and can. From what they've learned to the world, they've realised that people reproduce, and they just assume that they will be able to as well. And it's going to break their hearts when they realise that they're not the same as other races in the Raindrop Chronicles world. That's kind of how I'm seeing it, and what could be possible. Cersei loved her family, well, most of them, yeah. And Elvira kind of, you know, she's similar. I don't think she's as evil as Cersei, you know. She's got integrity and she's honest and she's not going to murder people. But she, in a similar way to Cersei, she's very passionate and family is everything to her. So, yes. The barrel lady could be strong about keeping the other barrels honest. Yeah, and I think her goal is to be respected and admired at the end of the day, and that that isn't just about her, that's the family as a whole. She wants the family to be seen as this respectable group that are good people in her eyes, I guess. And no naughty business, you know. It's all about being well behaved with Elvira and doing what she believes is right. And Woody, I mean, she mocks Woody a bit and she makes digs at Woody. But at the end of the day, she's not told Woody to go. She's not said to Woody, get out. You don't belong here. She's still keeping him as part of the family. She's allowed him to be in their little group. Because I kind of see Elvira as the leader. I guess she would be the leader. She's the matriarch. And we've still got Hank. He is also, you know, he could be the leader. But I don't think Hank's personality is strong enough to be leader. Hank's very soft. And Elvira has the stronger personality. So she fits that leader perfectly. Maybe they form families depending on what kind of wood they are made. Yeah, and it's interesting because what we've got in our lore video here is pretty much what is set in stone, but there's always like reasons to make it more in depth and make the lore even deeper still if it works. But this little group did form a family. For some reason, they were drawn to each other and formed a family. And I think, honestly, it's because they were the ones that the antagonist had. He used them and put a spell on them together, the group of them. So they just happened to be together. When they were brought to life, so they've got a bond because they were together when the spell happened. So maybe something there has formed that bond. The fact that they were cast a spell on at the same time or something, who knows, but they have chose to be a family together. And the party just finds a tiny wooden drinking cup in their inventory. Carol says nothing. Someday the future the cup is missing, instead there is a wooden stain. I'm going to copy that as well. I like just little touches like that, you know, like little small things that happen that you're like, oh my goodness, about. So who knows? Okay guys, oh my goodness me, how is it already 6:10? This is what happens when you're having a blast and you're trying to make all the character sheets you can. So I'm gonna, obviously that's Meryl's. So I'm going to just delete that and put question mark for now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this fear. At the moment I've just got mongrels as the fear, but I'm going to actually expand on that and talk about her fear being about her, basically what Met mentioned. She's afraid of uncertain, like things that might break up the family structure. You know, that's a better way to put it. So something like that. And as for anything else you'd like to tell us, we can mention how she believes. Well, she says she's an antique barrel. That little thing we could mention. And other than that, we've got. So let me just get the website up just to show you guys who have still got to come. Cross this sheet off. So we've done Carol's sheet, we've done Meryl's, and we've almost done Elvira's. That's what we've done today. So we do have Hank, Woody and Oliver still to come, as well as Fiona and Nigel Bookington, who are the first and the quest givers of the first and second main quest of the game. So they have their little subplot as well, with them being the quest givers. So we'll have to do them. And we also have the 5 fruits as well. The 5 fruits are the first boss of the game. You fight them all at the same time. And once we've finished all this character sheet stuff that we've been focusing on lately, I'm gonna jump straight into working on that battle with the fruits, because that's the next goal on our Trello page. So at the moment we've got do the profiles for the non-community member characters, the Bookingtons, Carol, the Barrel and her companions, and the fruits. That's what we're working on at the moment. The dialogue and scene stuff I'm doing off stream, and once that dialogue's done, there's 2 scenes to do. Once they're done, I'm going to put them in the scene discussion Discord channel, so people can watch them and, you know, give their say on, give a little bit of feedback if they wish, when they're released, and then it's literally just skills tree stuff, making sure it's working fine, the first 4 skills, and the reason it's the first 4 skills only is because that will be all that would really be possible to unlock in the first dungeon. You probably wouldn't have grinded much further than that. And then it is the boss, like making sure the boss is literally working amazingly well and there's no little bugs or anything at all. So that is kind of, these are all this month's tasks. So Friday stream, I think we'll be carrying on with this stuff. I mean, I might do a bit off stream. I might tidy up some of the character sheets, but at the same time, Hank, Oliver and Woody are such good characters that I want to do them on stream with you guys, because I've had such fun talking about them as characters today, and it would be a shame to do those last 3 off stream and to not have that opportunity to have a chat about them. So yeah, I'm tempted to do them on stream as well, but I really would like to still, obviously we got the fruits and Fiona and Nigel to do as well. I might do Nigel and Fiona off stream then, because I'll be putting the Discord when they're done anyway. And as for the fruits, we could always do them alongside the battle stuff, because it's relevant, because they are the first boss. So we could always, if we need a break, if the battle stuff gets a bit intense and we're like, oh no, then I'll be like, yeah, let's just do one of our character sheets if I want to have a little break from the battle stuff. So I might start the fruits next week in that case, their sheets, while doing their battle. And so that means, yeah, the rest of it I'll do the rest of this week, Nigel, Fiona and the barrels. Okay folks, so I'm gonna finish things up there because it is well after my stream finishing time, so I do have to rush off because of that. Sometimes I like to pass the love and give a raid if I can, but because of how late I've finished stream, I'm gonna have to rush off. So I'll see you all on Friday. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys, and for the gift subs. Aggro, you are very kind, and I'm looking forward to seeing Scaly Star's character sheet, and I'll add her to the list of characters to do. She'll be going just below Neffel here. So yes, I'm very happy to have finished all the character sheets now for the community members. So they're all on Twitter, guys. If you haven't seen them yet, they're on there, and they're also in the Discord. So if anyone wants to have a read, you're more than welcome. And the barrels will be in here too when they're done, but I kind of want to finish them off on Friday and do Hank, Oliver and Woody then, because they're such good characters and it'll be really fun to discuss them. But yeah, I'll be working on seeing stuff off stream and doing any tidying up of the character sheets off stream as well, because I'm still unsure about elements of the character sheets. These ones here, just a little bit blue still, the background, so just small things. TY for streamers, thank you, National. TY for the stream, have a nice day. Thank you for gone. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. You are the awesomest. So I hope you have an awesome rest of your week, and I'll see you on Friday, guys. Take care. Be the best. Had really some good chats today. Take care, Kung, as well. Take care, Green, and who else? Rex, Met, Moonshadow, Jimmy, and anybody else. I want to make sure I've said everybody's names. Zephyrus, Big. I think I've said everybody who's recently spoke in chat. So take care, guys. Thank you, Moon. Take care, Green. All the best.